Okay. Ready? Okay. Okay, so, I'm cruising out to, well, I'm just randomly driving, actually. I'm down in LA right now. And I'm letting people see the endless, right, like hundreds of police reports.
Take the next right onto West
The endless damage that they keep doing to my car, right? Over and over. Breaking the rear window, car top slashings, car keyings, 9 tire slashings, groups of nails found in each tire. It just keeps switching and changing, right? Putting as many things in the side of the window, try to jam the window shut. And you might get to watch me eat McDonald's, so that'll be like a fast food porn, right? Okay, so, alright. So I wrote down a couple topics the other day, some just random, things that come to my head, because every single minute of every day or worldwide groups, their little idea of reference hints that you did this, you did that, and everything I've done is like either Jason or friends or someone else, or... Now, why are they doing it? Oh, they're trying to drive you crazy. They're trying to make you look like the Incredible Hulk, right? Oh, poor me, he's crazy. My life's in danger. I'm going to keep punching him in the back of the head. My life's in danger. I'm going to keep punching him in the back of the head. My life's in danger. Okay, that shit, right? But nobody ever asks why. Like, why are they doing it? Why are they told to do it? Well, because Kevin's crazy. Well, that doesn't make sense. If you
Miller Avenue for 1.5 miles.
If you think someone's crazy, you stay the fuck away from them, right? You don't. Now, we have all sorts of connected events. Over and over, linking back to Jason. Kevin's crazy. Kevin's crazy. Everyone go after Kevin. Kevin's crazy. Well, Jason lives in Florida. Why are people moving here? My neighbors moving here, or people moving next to me from Florida and stalking me and trying to provoke me into reactions, and working with the entire complex, and it then rotating to newer different groups. And why is this happening at Southern Oregon State College, and why is this happening at University of Colorado, and why are... Hey, Kevin, I want you to meet my friend Mike Wexler at University of Colorado. I want you to meet Jason Baum at University of Colorado. After that, we're going to send Mike Huntley after you. Right, you get it? All these people linking to Jason. Linking to Jason. Now, Jason, who's a very psychotic brother, who... I can't tell you his motives. I can tell you he started in kind of with my father, 5 years old. But let's talk about the reasoning. Let's talk about common sense. Everything's coming from Jason and my father. So the more I walk away, the more random people want to get into my life. Or with the Jason Perelman chase or be chased. I've been trying to figure that one out for a good 20 years. Chase or be chased. Well, is there somewhere in the middle here? Like why does every girl that bears around me need to be chased? Why are they trying to get me to chase them? Okay, this is very important, because that's not how the dynamics of relationships work, okay? And I'm not talking about the adult industry or anything like that. I'm talking about normal, like Corey Bixby. What's this chase or be chased shit, right? Example, hey, I'm trying to figure out ways to get you to follow me and like me. And then say, this is always the case, and then say, Kevin's doing it to me. Okay, does that make sense? Like, hey, like me, I don't know you. Like me, I don't know you. Like me, I don't know you. And then what they say is, Kevin's doing this to me. And I'm like, who the fuck are you? Like, Skylar is a perfect example. Stephanie Skylar. Okay? How would I know that Skylar from Florida, by my brother, is contacting me on internet-related chat with 100 billion others? This is just one example of a 45-year reoccurring pattern. And then you talk to her for a while on the internet, and then you go, okay, let's meet, and she turns out to be like Queen Bitch in real life, and she's sort of trying to scare you with the police. Like, I fly out to Florida to see my brother where he's working on me, right? I'm not aware of it at the time. He's trying to set me up, like they're having they're having like Reese whistle at me and things like that. Jennifer Pilchik's having Reese whistle at me, and I'm going, why is Reese working on the same whistling tactic as hundreds of people I'm seeing per day? And this was about 20 years ago or something. And what is he doing? He's trying to provoke me to hurt a kid, right? So now I'm guessing Reese was like 6 or 8 or something, and Jennifer's telling him, you know, provoke Kevin, make Kevin look crazy. Just another side note, because I find these things interesting, that around that same time I'm smoking weed with Jennifer Pilchik Perelman, who lost, my sister-in-law, who lost against Debbie Wasserman Schultz, and I'm stoned out of my mind, laughing, going, there's two types of people, those who are stoned and those that should be stoned, right? Now, I finally made the connection, maybe, I don't know if I just made that connection last week or not, but maybe all these weird twos, my mother says you have a problem too, and this way, that way, and chase or be chased. Well, I can't tell you how that started. I can tell you that I come from a psychotic family, and they have no grasp on reality, but or their reality is the same as a psychotic murderer, so you don't want to be around them, and their world of psychotic. Okay, but okay, so everyone's running around, and do you really think that the world believes that I'm saying that in a literal? I'm stoned out of my mind with Jennifer Pilchik Perelman, who lost last year against Debbie Wasserman Schultz. And this worldwide group seeing, see, I told you so, because Kevin's saying these evil statements like there's two types of people, those that should be stoned, and those that are stoned and those that should be stoned. And do you really believe that the world's thinking in a literal context, like the movie Airplane or something? Okay, do you really believe that they can't differentiate my comments between reality and fantasy and literals? And then they're going, Kevin's crazy. Now, okay, but let's jump back to why is Jennifer Pilchik Perelman telling Reese to whistle at me when he's like 6 or 8 with 40 to 100 people per day for years when I was first finding out? Well, she wants to make it look like I'm an angry, like the Hulk, or an angry, bitter, filled with, like Mike Huntley's statement, you're filled with rage, like an angry, bitter, filled with rage, and I'm on edge and wound up and going to, like, trying to get me to hurt her kid to say Kevin's crazy and we need to lock him away, right? No, none of this has ever happened. But she's made the statement, we need to deem Kevin as crazy, which I have screenshots of her saying to her political lawyer friends, showing that she has something to hide. Okay? Now the question, what's more realistic here? Did Jennifer Pilchik Perelman maybe wants to run for office, but Kevin has knowledge that she's a stoner or something like that, right? And Kevin might rat her out, not that anyone gives a shit, but Kevin might rat her out as being a stoner, right? I mean, that is more common sense to what Jason's doing with a plan of people since I was 5 years old, my father. So remember when Jason's playing this game like, it's a war and this side and that side.
Turn left onto East Florence Avenue.
There are no sides here. There's a planet trying to execute Kevin since 5 years old, and he found out at 29. There's no sides. This isn't the movie Wizards. They're just using media to try to make me look crazy, like Kevin conforms to media. Okay, that's the point.
Turn left onto East Florence Avenue.
Okay, so Jennifer Pilchik Perelman is trying to take comments. This is the most important. Why are our little stoner, we're getting stoned in my brother's house, whatever. This is probably 15 years ago. We're getting stoned. And she's collecting fragments of conversations and taking them out of context, and they get blasted to the entire planet. Why is that happening? Why, out of all these things, if I have 4 billion people trying to kill me saying, well, you said there's two types of people, it's a harmless joke, right? I mean, there's two types of people, those that are stoned and those that should be stoned, and there's an entire planet trying to kill me over a harmless joke, smoking weed with my sister-in-law before even knowing she was working with political parties to execute me.
In 1,000 feet, turn right onto North Prairie Avenue.
Nobody's questioning the fact that these are private conversations. the context of the situation is I'm smoking weed with my sister-in-law, right? And they shouldn't have the out-of-context statement to begin with. Okay, you get what I'm saying? And that applies to everything since 5 years old. Everything. So even if you thought you got dirt on me or even had some kind of little trivial piece of dirt, I'm a human being.
Turn right onto North Prairie Avenue.
I'm a human being, and I'm not a perfect robot. That's the point. So every time I show humor and express myself, worldwide groups try to kill me,
make a U-turn
to mentally batter me to death.
Avenue.
Well, you said this. You yawned on a date. Well, if I go on a date with a girl, and I yawn on
make a U-turn.
if I go on a date and I yawn on the date, and there's a worldwide campaign to kill me saying you treated this girl like shit, then the problem isn't that I yawned on the date. The problem is that a situation, me and my friends are going to make you mentally ill, and we have a bug in your room and listening to everything you do on the radio. Example, we're trying to make you look paranoid. We're trying to make you look like a schizophrenic because nothing is admitted. It's not like I signed a contract for a reality show here.
Make a U-turn.
And it's all designed to make someone look crazy. Now, why? Do you think anyone gives a shit if Kevin's crazy or not? No. And obviously I'm not crazy. But do you think that anyone...
Turn right onto South Victoria.
Let me rephrase that. Do you think that Jason Perelman cares so much that he has a planet of people trying to lock me in a mental institution that I'm crazy, instead of going off and living his own life? Let's talk about common sense. The only type of person that does that is someone that wants to fucking kill you for the family money or something like that, okay? Or out of hate or whatever. He's reading his books like How to Kill People and Get Away with It or whatever with Stephen Ainbinder and the Menendez or whatever. I don't fucking know. And he's going, hey, that's a good idea. Let's kill Kevin for the family money. You know, that's more realistic than I care that Kevin's crazy. You know what I'm saying? You think Jason Perelman gives a shit that I'm crazy so much that he invites me over and then says, hey, my redhead friend wants to go out on a date with you, not Skylar, different one, and I go on a date with her.
Next right onto South Victoria.
And some nurse or something, and I go out on a date with her, and she says, I want to go out with you again, and I go, cool. Before I leave town, I'm in town for like a week. And before I even go out on the second date, Jason's babbling how I'm obsessed with her, and I'm like, I haven't even gone on the second date yet, and there's nothing I said to her other than like, cool, you know, I'll give you a call again, we'll go out again. Okay, so we're seeing this pattern with Jason, taking absolutely nothing and turning it into the end of the world. And if I go out on one single day with a girl, and before I can even call her up for the second date, you're obsessed and you're with her and this and that. Well, how am I obsessed with her? We simply went out on a date. Okay, so you're seeing this communication line, except it's not just my brother, it's all my brother's friends, and then it's my friends, and then, but whatever. And then it's planetary. Okay, so back to this weird concept they're trying to throw on me, like everything else. Chase or be chased. There's no such thing. Okay, in the real world, people work together to try to work out their issues and have relationships and friendships and all the above. And I'm not talking to work environments. I'm talking about interpersonal communication based on daily life. Okay, so what I'm saying is, if I'm in high school and have friends, or I want to go on a date with that girl, or I like that girl, I talk to the girl and she wants to talk to me, right? She doesn't walk around going, follow me, follow me, follow me, dangle carrots, follow me here, follow me there, follow me this way. And then she doesn't go around saying, well, it's because Kevin makes me follow him. Huh? Like that weird chaser bee. What the fuck? Okay. So that also applies, I guess, to business environments where someone realizes that they want more, but they're afraid to take a chance or something like that. Right? Like if I'm at my father's, when when I was working at my so when I was working at, this is just a side thing. When I was working in my father's office, my father would play this mind game like, Kevin, you don't know how to work, and you got to be professional. You don't know the way the world works, and you got to be professional. And yet I'm the only one there that was professional. Okay, so I'm watching George Escobar running around mad at me for getting into photography. I'm watching George Escobar mad at me for getting back into cars. And he's trying to sabotage and destroy, and he's walking up and he's insulting me over and over and belittling. And I'm thinking, why is this guy that I don't even know, just like most of them, going ballistic on me for fucking just trying to go out and have some hobbies or make money or whatever, right? Okay, so that would be every employee in my father's office paid off to do it, and then probably everyone in my life, like Damon Reagan's, right? Like, you're just, dude, I didn't do anything to you, dude. Why are you like, why is there a planet working with Damon Reagan's to execute me over things that don't matter, right? Okay, so, and then they played this thing, well, Kevin's competing. Well, I'm not. I didn't even really think about Damon Reagan's back then. As I was joking around with him when I saw him in the parking lot, and I sure shit don't give a flying fuck about Damon Reagan's now. But why were black women being put on the wrestling team to make it look like I beat up women and all that weird shit, right? That still goes on today. Well, it's about mental illness. That's about mental illness? No, that's not about mental illness. That's about hate. Okay, so the chaser be chase thing. There's no such thing.
In a quarter mile, slight right onto Crenshaw Drive.
There's no such thing. Chaser be chase. Like, it's like, okay, so why are they doing it? Why was my brother popping water beds on Chase Street? Why is Corey Bixby saying, Kevin, will you drive me home? You were in my life. Everyone kill him. The ride wasn't perfect. I think there was.
Right onto Crenshaw Drive.
I think a piece of lint flew off. Kevin's shirt and hit me. Kevin tried to kill me. Whatever. All that shit, right?
Quarter mile, turn right onto Manchester Avenue.
Okay, so yeah, every situation since 5 years old is the same, from stranger to stranger, right? And they have these weird cover-up arguments that it's your fault, Kevin, right? It's your fault. Now, it's weird because it always comes back to some weird thing from strangers. Well, Kevin, you have childhood trauma. I heard that one a lot. Kevin, you have childhood trauma. And I keep saying, well, what's this trauma? Well, we can't answer the question, but you have trauma. And my response is, one guy asked me, he said, Kevin, he said, have you ever had trauma, childhood trauma? And I said, yeah. I said, well, Jason was showing me all those horror movies with his friends and saying I'm crazy. He showed me the movie Toxic Avenger by Trauma Films. Right? That's my trauma. I probably have trauma now from 29 to 49 or whatever from worldwide groups. You don't have a right to exist and we're going to abuse you to death. Okay, but my point is everyone plays the same game. Like, chase me, chase me, chase me. Who are you? I don't know you. He won't leave me alone. And you keep sort of turning the other way and moving on, and then the next group takes over, and the next group.
Continue on Manchester Avenue.
Now, a lot of these groups, ironically, are linked to Jason Perelman and Jennifer Pilchick, right? Okay, like the Lauren neighbor playing the same game, 2 houses down in the Blake Mitchell porn house. I go to work on my car. She sits in the garage. She goes and she sits in her car. And she wants to talk to me, and eventually I start talking to her. And, you know, honestly, she's kind of cute. But she tries to collect information and then disseminate it out amongst the neighbors. So I was joking around. I was taking a walk, and they were taking a walk, and I was joking around, and they were picking flowers. And I said, like, that reminds me, I'd like to grow a marijuana plant. So the next day a guy comes out, he says, I'm a gang stalking target at the Metro. I'm a gang stalking target too. My family are drug dealers. Walk with me. And he sort of wants to walk me down to where a police officer's waiting and things like that. And I'm thinking, like, all I did was have a conversation about, you know, growing a marijuana plant and this and that. Now, you got to keep things in the context that I'm in California and marijuana is 100% legal. Not even medicinally, 100%. Meaning that even when it was medicinally illegal, you could still grow. You could still grow a certain amount. But now we're 100% legal. I could grow a fucking field of marijuana fully legally. Not that I want to. But the point I'm making is she's collecting information like Mike Huntley, a guy who's a microphone hunting me, right? Everything I say, he's distributing out of context to the world to turn the world against me. And ironically, they're from Florida by Jason.
In a quarter mile,
And they knew exactly who Jennifer Pilchick Perelman was, and my guess is they're probably paid money to try to set me up and frame me and make me look like I'm doing something to them, and it's always the same thing from person to person. Okay, so is it a family matter? Well, it might start there, okay, but people are obviously being paid, okay, paid to exterminate, and that's a crime. Okay, now why is this I've explained the whys, which are sort of hard to really know. You know, one is family control. We don't want Kevin going out and doing what he loves to do. We don't want Kevin going out and doing what he does to do, like play pool, build cars, whatever. But it switches to everything since 5 years old. So it's really based on hate and extermination.
1,000 feet, turn left onto South Prairie Avenue.
So why, back to the whys, because the whys are very important. Why does Jason have such a hard-on, and my father, to make me look crazy and lock me away? Okay? Without going into the 100 million different things, Kevin did this, Kevin did that, and none of them are true. But instead of going into all that and get reeled into the noise, let's stick to the simple why does Jason Perelman not want Kevin Perelman existing? And that's a very complex question, and that also apparently is my father, because George Escobar has just popped the snake head out of the snake hole after these car vandalisms, going to my father in a panic. You know, Kevin's still talking and blah blah blah. Okay, so why don't they move on? Their argument is that I'm a bad, crazy person, and they're good people, so why don't they just move on? And why are they trying to make it look like I'm stalking and chasing and pursuing people, when usually those people, everyone does the same thing? He won't leave me alone. He's an obsessed stalker. He won't leave me alone. Okay, so, and we've just brought out back to Adriana Olvera's link to my father and Lorena Escobar with the Vanilla Sky tactic, right? Okay. So in my last video, I sort of linked the event from Skylar, a redhead, seeking me out at University of Colorado. When I fly out to meet my brother's trying to frame me and set me up with Skylar. Police officers are trying to scare me. She gives me, whatever, she invites me over. She gives me a blowjob. She says, I have to go to the airport now. I think hinting about Chasey Lane. I don't know at the time. I say, that sucks. I wish we could spend more time together. And you know what words came out of Skylar or Stephanie's mouth? Yeah, sure you do. Okay, she invites me over. I fly out to Florida. I say, sure, I'll meet you. She gives me a blowjob. She says, I have to go now. I say, I wish we had more time. She says, yeah, sure you do. But wait. That's strange. That would have been our first official date. Do you understand? Like that's we talked a lot on the internet. I can't remember the specifics, but that would be the first real life interaction with this girl. And other than the blowjob, the first thing that comes out of her mouth is her insulting me for being nice to her. Okay, so you got either some crazy girl or some girl that just wants to give you a blowjob, and okay, fine, so be it. Chalk it up. Girl's not really into me or whatever, right? Okay. So then you move on, you go back, and she sort of comes back now and then, and you're not really interested in her because multiple reasons. You're not fully attracted. She sort of seemed kind of weird, like bipolar, I guess, right? If you think about it. And now you're not into her, right? You sort of lose interest. You're into your work, and then she breaks. Well, if you want to be my friend, I'm gonna treat you like shit. And that's the point. I go, what the fuck's wrong with this girl, right? Okay, don't fucking call me. Don't talk to me. I'm not interested in you. Okay, cut it off. Cut it off clean. Sever the cord. Because who needs that, right? Who needs that kind of abuse? But wait, there's a worldwide campaign to kill me because I'm an asshole and I wrong Skylar. Or Stephanie. There's strippers hunting me, calling themselves Stephanie and working all these angles with Victoria Walker, a Latin girl. There's Adriana Oliveira sent after me by Lorena and my father my father trying to get me to date her in his office when my father gave us a really good pricing deal for Signet services with Mike Huntley. Adriana didn't get her away. Kevin ruined my life. Kevin's crazy. It's about trauma. It's about this. It's about that. I'm going to hunt him with every resource on the planet and kill him. I'm going to show him the movie Vanilla Sky, like we're getting revenge for Skylar. Because of my childhood issues, I ruined Skylar's life, or Stephanie's life, by saying, I'm going to give you a chance, I'm going to let you in, but you're showing you're unstable, right? You're showing that I don't feel comfortable with her around me, and I'm really not super interested in her anyways, making all the factors of interpersonal relationships. Look, if you want people in your life as your friends, you got to trust them and you got to communicate with them, right? If you go off and date a girl and have a relationship, you got to trust them, and that's it. You got to trust them. You got to be able to communicate if you want something meaningful, other than like paying off a hooker to sleep with, right? And that's it. So why is there a planet hunting me with Skylar, Stephanie, my father, Lorena Escobar, Adriana Olivares, Jason Perelman? Well, you have childhood issues. Well, what's the issues? I veer away from psychotic murdering women, and I veer away from psychotic murdering family members who say, you better date this girl or we'll fucking hunt you and kill you with every fucking resource on the planet, right? Okay, right? And what am I supposed to do with a girl? Like, she's going to tell me what I have to do? Well, Kevin, you need to clean the floors and wash the dishes and kiss my ass and, whoa, I'm out of here. Fucking, right? Any sane person's going to be like, I'm fucking out of here. Well, you know, everyone, Kevin suffers from childhood issues because he walked away from that crazy fucking loon. Right? Okay. Then, of course, everyone, I guess, wants revenge. Well, you walked away from that girl, so Kevin, you're a crazy psychotic loon. Well, why can't I just walk away from a fucking girl or an abusive person? Why is it a worldwide fucking rock-throwing convention to fucking hunt me and kill me for walking away from some abusive person? Well, Kevin, you keep walking away from people. Yeah, because everyone I meet, for some odd fucking reason, is extremely abusive and told to do the same unheard of things. Right? Okay, so chase or be chased. What is that really about? There's no such thing. You know, dangle the carrot, dangle the carrot. I don't chase people, and I wouldn't want people to chase me. Okay, that's the point. Is if I see someone I like, I talk to them and they talk to me, and if we have issues, then we try to resolve the issues, and that's the way the world works. Whether it's business or it's personal, because in order for me to run a clean business, I got to be able to communicate with my employees or my coworkers, right? So if Mike Huntley's mad at me about something, he's got to tell me what he's mad about instead of dropping fucking papers on my desk how to fucking kill people with mental illness tactics and world paranoia and this and that. And by the way, ironically, I believe paranoia, world of paranoia, applies to a guy on an internet-related chat sent after me calling himself paranoid. Okay, trying to make me paranoid. And Mike Huntley trying to cover that up. Okay, so these are kind of random topics, and I'm just trying to sort of iterate the things they do to me, and then say, Kevin, you have a problem. And my response is, if you keep doing these things to me, why do I have a problem? And if they can sort of try to get me to feed into it, then what they're trying to do is reinforce the lie, saying, look, I told you so, right? You get it? So when each of these women, follow me, I don't like you, I don't know you. Why are you sending me idea of references, trying to get me to follow you, and then say you don't know me? And then they get more and more abusive, trying to get reactions, right? Well, he's crazy, I never talked to him. No, but you're following me at my accounts, you're following my dialogues, and you're taking whatever I do, and the computer, the 30 years of computer privacy violations since '94. So hey, I'm watching you. I'm looking at your emails. I'm watching what you type to people, and then boom, here comes the paranoid schizophrenia tactics. Link to the Jason Perelman. We have a bug in your room, and we're watching everything you do on the radio, trying to make it look like I'm, what is that line my psychotic murdering father said? He said, I asked him something like, what the fuck is going on already? And he said something weird, indirectly of course, like, artists are tortured people or something like that. And I'm thinking to myself, what the fuck is this fucking guy babbling, right? Artists are tortured people? Well, maybe if you want to pick Vincent van Gogh. But what about the other 100 billion artists? Is it possible that most artists actually aren't tortured people? That they're just expressive people? Is it possible that most actors aren't tortured people? Is it possible that most models and porn stars and politicians and lawyers are not tortured people? Is it possible that my father's just saying it to try to figure out a way to force his son into a mental institution because maybe he doesn't like me building adult websites with Tim Thompson's, well, you built adult websites, didn't you? Anger statement with Mike Huntley, mad at me for going in my own direction. Because I didn't get a law degree, I didn't get an MD with a secondary psychology degree, right? So I'm a bad person. Okay. So, is it a family matter? Well, yeah, it starts there, but it's a worldwide matter with the family starting at 5 years old. And if I turn 29 and there's a planet of people that want me dead, right? They keep destroying my cars. Every time you try to get back into the car hobby, we destroy all your cars. Every time you go play pool, you're not allowed to play pool. You get in the studio, you get into all sorts of photography, not just studio photography. Every form of photography was sabotaged. Macro, landscapes, portraits, you know, sporting around, screwing around with like, you know, like journalistic type shoots. I really like the studio photography because I could use my 3D animation and be really expressive and creative and really do cool shit. But it didn't matter because everything is a crime in my life, okay? Even driving Corey, being nice enough to drive Corey Bixby home when I'm 16 in high school are all crimes for some reason with worldwide support. So is it a family matter? Well, it sure shit starts there. But it's a worldwide matter because there's a planet helping them with their disinformation, and the disinformation is in secret with like hundreds of thousands of lies on a propaganda channel built to torture and kill, and the only people that have the resources to do it are government, okay? My family did not invest billions of dollars to invent the internet, okay? You understand what I'm saying here? People had to make choices. People in Congress and Senate and possibly even presidential decisions had to make choices to use the internet-based technology and other technologies similar before the internet to torture and kill without touching, okay? Do you understand what I'm saying? Now maybe the opinion starts somewhere from the family at 5 years old, and it does. But so it's an everyone manner. It's an everybody manner. And I've watched people play this game like, well, because your father showed you Wizards 1977 at 5 years old trying to make it look like you conform to media, you think you're the good wizard and it's a side thing. There are no sides. There's a planet trying to kill Kevin since 5 years old, and there needs to be honesty about what the fuck's really going on, right? Okay, so what are some of my notes here? Okay, so let's start off with Miss Garcia's class, because this is a common pattern, not just with high school, not just with middle school, with every school, every college, every person since 5 years old, as I found out at 29. The frame jobs. And it's not because Kevin thinks like a camera. Okay, that's the stupidest fucking thing I've ever heard. Oh, and when I say I have a freeze frame mind, don't take that in a literal. Take it in, I can see my past life timeline of things that they don't want me remembering going down to a very young age. Okay, don't take that as a literal. Okay, Miss Garcia's class, and this also applies to Miss Prohaska's class. And this is Paul Schaefer. Okay, and these are some of my childhood issues, not childhood issues. Does that make sense? Because there's nothing I did. Okay. And you can apply this to like 1,000, 100, probably 100,000 other things. Okay, so Miss Garcia's Spanish class, because there's been a lot of Latin people stalking me. Lorena Escobar, Adriana Olivares, Fernanda Simi, George Escobar, linked to my father's office, and after that, I guess it was supposedly I hate Latin people, and it also, I guess, applies to Brian Weaver, Kid Taco, because mad at me for having a shitty piece of junk car that I was working on, teaching myself how to build cars, okay, 69 Firebird, okay, and nobody mad at Brian Weaver for making the comments, they're mad at me for taking the abuse. Like, God damn it, Kevin, stop fucking bleeding on me or I'll fucking kill you. Well, what about the guy bashing me in the fucking head with the crowbar? No, I don't care. I don't care about the guys. I don't care about the 1,000 people per day bashing you in the skull with crowbars. You just better stop fucking bleeding on me. Well, but does that make any fucking sense? How am I going to stop fucking bleeding on you if you don't stop the guy from bashing my skull in with fucking crowbars? And why is that my fault? Why are you mad at me and not the guy? You're watching the guy bash me in the fucking head with fucking crowbars. I'm obviously being symbolic here. To make a point, why are you mad at me for bleeding to death? Because blood's spraying everywhere. But you're not mad at the motherfuckers, the 1,000 people per day bashing my fucking skull with crowbars. Well, there's something wrong with you, Kevin, because you keep bleeding when people bash your skull with crowbars. Okay, well, how do you want me to fight that? Because first of all, the only thing in my mind is if the entire planet doesn't think that the crowbars bashing my skull in is wrong, I just might bleed on them, then it means they're part of a mass conspiracy, correct? To fucking kill you. Okay. Okay, so the Kid Taco thing, I've explained it a million times, yet people don't want me talking, because we don't want to know about your personal life, we just want to know about the lies about your personal life, right? So if the lies, so if you're getting propaganda about me that isn't true, you're eating it up like a fucking soap opera. But if I have something to say like, you've been lied to, they get mad. Okay, well that's not fair to me, and that's not fair to my breathing. And that's why it's called self-defense. Okay, so is it a family issue or is it a worldwide issue? It's a worldwide issue, because the world has been told lies about me. And I have the right to say, you've been lied to. And these people are doing it. Why? Because they want the family inheritance, because they hate my kind, or whatever they want to say. It's on those guidelines, and that's the most important part of the entire argument. It doesn't matter if you accuse me of when you were 16, I think you kissed a black girl, and I think you now hate black people. Well, I don't give a shit what you think, because that's the stupidest fucking thing I've ever heard. And keep it yourself. If you're that fucking stupid, keep it yourself and don't fight and stay in a corner of stupidity or whatever. But don't come after me because you're a stupid fucking moronic issue. And if you want to talk about law and crimes, it's a crime to hunt people because you don't like them. Whatever your excuses. They're crazy, they're this, they're that. Okay. So, these aren't childhood issues. These are daily issues with a planet of people. Daily issues with a planet of people trying to make someone look like they're crazy, suffer from obsession, suffer from trauma, suffer from schizophrenia, suffer from obsession, you name it, just keep switching and changing. Then he's a criminal, then he's this. Okay, it's pure hate. It's pure hate and rage like Adolf Hitler. Okay. So, Miss Garcia's class. So we're now Miss Garcia's class. So I would fall asleep a lot in Miss Garcia's class. I think it was right after lunch, Spanish class. And the bully kid that was bullying me, not horrible bullying, but annoying, prankish bullying, was Paul Schaefer. Okay, so Paul Schaefer, and the things he would do is so I fall asleep in Miss Garcia's class, and he would take a Casio watch, and he'd set the alarm, and he'd throw it underneath Miss Prohaska's desk, and then the alarm would go off, I guess because Kevin's asleep, and the alarm would go off underneath her desk, and I'm guessing what he was doing was saying Kevin's pretending to sleep, because my father, I fell asleep in the car in Arizona or something, and my father gave me this like angry comment like I was faking sleeping or something weird, and that's when I sort of started to realize my father was nuts. So he would throw the watch under the desk and pretend like Kevin's pretending to sleep, and he's throwing a alarm clock under the teacher's desk. You get it? Okay? Also, I can remember Mike Huntley introduces me to Melody the Stripper around that time, and apparently those little cheese dick bouncing for her at some cheese dick bachelor parties, which now that I look back, I think are fake, because I think 2 different high school kids got married. High school kids? Getting married? Right? So she gives me her business cards, and she says pass them around. And Paul Schaefer takes the business cards and she puts it in Miss Prohaska's drawer, kind of like a harmless prank. Of course it's Kevin, right? So what is Paul Schaefer in this endless slew of random people trying to frame me and set me up since 5 years old over and over? What is Paul Schaefer doing? Okay? Now the clincher, 10th or 11th grade English, I think it was 10th grade, Mr. Quigley, Paul Schaefer kind of pushing me in the desk, and Mr. Quigley telling me to punch Paul Schaefer in front of everyone. Okay, what do you think that Mr. Quigley was doing? Have you ever heard of a situation where teachers in high school are telling you to punch other students? What do you think, based on everything that's done to me that I get on video or at coffee shops, what do you think that Mr. Quigley was trying to do? He was trying to get me to strike another student to say Kevin's full of anger and rage, and we got to put him in a special school, correct? Okay, why? Because Kevin's full of anger and rage? Kevin's full of anger and rage, so we got to keep punching him in the back of the head until he reacts and then say Kevin's full of anger and rage. That doesn't make sense. That's like you're saying you're a criminal, so I had to have Rody Morales try to plant drugs on you. Well, you know they're not a criminal. That's like saying I want to win at a poker game, so I got to stack the deck. Well, you stacked the deck because you knew you were going to lose. Because he's the better player. Okay? So the argument to the world doesn't make sense. As the world watches a planet of people try to like punch me in the back of the head, going he might react, he's an evil person. Huh? Maybe you just shouldn't fucking try to beat the shit out of me until I'm dead and gone. Maybe that's the answer. Especially since 5 years old. Okay. Now, well, Kevin keeps going because we keep punching him in the back of the head. We'll stop fucking punching him in the back of the head. Okay, so is it a family matter? No, it's a world matter. Okay. Now you have everyone sort of trying to collect and twist things to cover it all up, right? Whether it be social network posts and Twitter posts and private messages. And as I was explaining the other day, this wouldn't be happening if I could just message someone or talk on the phone and things were being collected to try to make it look like I'm a violent paranoid schizo. And they're not doing it for any reason but to try to make someone look crazy and off them, okay? I mean, that's common sense. Okay, so that was Garcia and Prohaska. And the point I wanted to make is the teachers are being used to try to make, as well, teachers, professors, middle school, high school, college, as well, to make it look like Kevin's crazy, right? Why? Well, Kevin has childhood issues. Okay, so you can fucking man up and tell me what your issue is. I can't know what your issue is, but if you're going to try to lock me away going Kevin has issues and you have no argument, then you have no argument. Well, Kevin doesn't have relationships. Kevin doesn't have friends. Well, I used to have friends, and look what happened. They were all stalking me, and I didn't even know it till 29. I remember 29, all my friends from high school start coming back in my life, and I'm getting death threats from Brian Weaver. It's a public shaming and things like this, and I'm going like, why are my friends telling me they're trying to publicly shame me to death and kill me? Why is Mike Huntley starting a company with me for 6 years and then going, you're a dead man, I've given you enough rope to hang yourself with? Well, Kevin, but you're all alone, you don't have friends. Well, yeah, because friends like that, who needs enemies? Correct? Okay, my friends were my jailers. They were sent after me. Starting with Tom Farley at a very young age, maybe 8 years old. Everyone in a mass conspiracy. So now the only people I let in my life are honest people. Well, Kevin, you think differently because nobody's honest. Everyone are lying psychotic murderers, and you don't let anyone in your life. Bullshit. And that was the point that I was sort of going back into my father's office and my father giving me his disinformation that I think differently, and you don't talk to the employees. You don't give any personal information to the employees. And then he doesn't think I'm in the office, and he's kissing them on the cheek, going, "Yeah, I'll go to your party. I'll go to your quinceanera. Oh, cool. There's going to be a belly dancer there. Oh, great. I'm going to go in my limo with Dion and fuck some chicks and cheat on my wives." Okay? Wait a minute. There's no personal, there's no blurring the lines in your office, but you're going to their fucking parties and you have your little fuck limo and shit. Okay, what the fuck is this guy talking about, right? And the only thing I do is like, why did the chicken cross the road? Get to the other side? Oh my god, you're an evil murderer. There could be a miscommunication. There's a worldwide campaign to kill you. What the fuck is going on? Kevin, I don't know how you live like you do. Artists are tortured people. Wait, why is this guy trying to torture me into not being able to live and then say I'm crazy, right? Well, it's based on hate. Okay? But the real question here is, why is it worldwide? Why can't you walk away from it like everyone else can? Hey, I got an abusive father. I don't want to be around him. Hey, this Skylar girl, Stephanie girl, she's abusive. I don't want to be around her. Now we're going to send Adriana Olivares after you with Lorena Escobar and my father. Hey, Kevin, we want you to meet this girl. Oh, how dare you ruin Stephanie's life because you walked away from her, right? You got to see the movie Vanilla Sky. You're a stalker. We're getting revenge for what you did to Skylar. What did I do to Skylar? Well, they can't have an actual verbal argument. They just keep hinting, I did this, and hinting with the idea of reference messages with an entire planet, I did that, and then they go, you can't move on. Well, of course, you got a planet of people working on me with the idea of reference, trying to make me look like I suffer from mental illness. Is it a family matter? Well, it might start there, but the world took part, now didn't it? So it's a world matter. It needs to deal with the family that doesn't like their child. Okay, and I'm not saying stalk anyone. Okay? I'm just gonna make that fucking clear with these lying assholes. Okay, so to give you a taster of my high school, that's an example with what they did with the teachers conspiring with the students. Nobody is innocent. The students aren't innocent. The teachers aren't innocent. Okay, why isn't Kevin allowed to have normal, healthy interactions? Chase or be chased. Chase or be chased. Chase or be chased. Hi, follow me. I don't know you. 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 Kevin's following me. Kevin's following me. Kevin's following me. Kevin's following me. Okay, none of the above. I'm just sitting here watching a planet of fucking retards. What the fuck is going on? Are all of them that stupid? You're being given information. You can't understand the stupid common sense argument. When you meet me in person, am I doing what they say? No. But you get angrier, right? Why? Because you want to cover it up, correct? Because the well's been poisoned on a planetary scale, you want to cover it up. Okay. This chase or be chased thing doesn't apply to anything. It's like a some Darren Moselle creative writing piece that was designed and put in a propaganda channel, right? Interesting. What does Darren Moselle have to hide? Okay. While telling Navid, my Persian next door neighbor, to walk up and say, let's throw rocks in Darren Moselle's pool and make splashes. Then jumping to Riot Klein Peter after Navid moves. Same house. Neighbors. Is that the neighborhood thing? Is that the neighborhood? I don't know. What's the other neighborhood thing? Hidden Hills. Tom Farley and Richard Grumber stealing the Woodman skateboards, so Kevin's gotta die? Is that another neighborhood thing? You got me, because I'm in the fucking dark here with a planet trying to kill me for 45 years. Okay. So these neighborhood things don't apply to me, really, right? They're just fiction to cover up kill Kevin. Okay? Make Kevin look crazy. Okay. Now, is my childhood issues that I'm a horrible monster for watching the movie Creepshow? Or Nightmare on Elm Street? Why would that be childhood issues? Everyone watches horror movies. And the point where Brian Longbottom was told to hire me for Hollyweird, working with production Wes Craven to try to make me look crazy and frame me with Wes Craven, that's a whole nother level thing, right? So why is Jason Perelman told to show me horror movies with all his friends and then try to make me look crazy and like I conform to media, right? Now, I even had this conversation with my neighbor Lauren, and some of her early conversations were like angry at me for watching horror movies when I was a kid. Who fucking cares? You know what? I also ate lamb chops, and I also ate chicken cordon bleu, and I also drank Coca-Cola. I gotta be hunted for that too, right? Huh? Okay, but she is a link from the 954 area, Florida, with Jason Perelman, who probably wants to have me killed for the fucking family inheritance. Because if you want to use movie shit like Occam's Razor, what's more realistic? That Jason wants to put me in a mental institution because I'm crazy and make me healthy in a bouncy room? Make me healthy and keep me in a bouncy room? Or he wants to fucking take me out of the fucking picture and fucking steal the money that I've never even asked for? Like me, it's like, I don't even know, right? Like, but he's all calculated, a calculated fucking premeditated murderer, and I'm just kind of trying to go with the flow of life and go work and make money, and they're all trying to stop me from making money, and then it's like, but the guy's got to be doing it for a fucking reason, and if these girls are coming into my life, if the girls are coming into my fucking life trying to fucking off me, they're probably taking money to do it, right? Maybe Jason's saying, hey, listen, I'll give you fucking... If I get the family inheritance, I'll pay you. I don't fucking know. And I'm not saying that I know this or that. I'm just saying that people, sane, rational people, don't spend all day and night sending people after someone, trying to make them look like a horrible monster, lock them away for no kind of gain. Okay? Let me give you an example. If 4 people come into my life and take me to strip clubs, for strippers, normally it's because they want to make money and they want to take my money, right? I mean, that's the normal, the common sense reason. my situation is a little weirder because all these people go back to my link back to my family. Example, if Lauren wants to get together with the Brazers guy in my garage and make me look crazy and steal my house, it's about money, correct? We think you have childhood trauma, so we're trying to force you into a mental institution. That's because someone wants to take something from me, or kill me for what I know, but I can assure you it's not because they want me to have a good, healthy life, okay? Because why would they care? Nobody cares. Do you understand what I'm saying? Nobody gives a shit. See that guy over there on the sidewalk there? He looks like he doesn't have any money, and he looks like he's going to be begging tonight for food. So I'm going to force him into a mental institution. Why would I care? I'm cruising here. I'm doing my own shit. Why do I care that that guy... Like Dincy. What was Dincy's motive? Dincy's MO? I'm striving for supremacy, and all those homeless people are imperfect, and they're the inferior race, and they got to be forced into mental institutions like Kevin, because Dincy says Kevin has mental illness, therefore mental illness means that you're the inferior race, and that's the extreme. But what's Skylar's thing? Linking to Florida and Jason. Well, it's got to be hate, or you know too much about something that he doesn't want coming out, right? Okay. Okay, so I think I wrote here, isolation, not allowed to have a normal, healthy interactions. So you'll notice that every interaction, no matter how friendly I am, or passive-aggressive provokings. So my neighbors all told to walk by and say man, or call me man, or incorporate in the sentence, and that applies to thousands of different tactics like that. So in 20 years ago, it started with whistling. Stranger after stranger walking by whistling. I might go into a coffee shop, have a conversation, go to the next coffee shop or go somewhere else, and the conversation is continued with a stranger, all to try to make it look like I'm a violent paranoid schizo. Okay? Now, of course, their cover-up argument, which doesn't make any sense, is because you're a monster and you did this to people. Doesn't make any sense. That's the stupidest thing I've ever heard. And obviously they're full of shit. Okay. So there's a reason that they want me isolated, not talking, not able to talk about my life, and to try to make me crazier, look crazier and crazier, correct? Okay. And there's also another reason why the police refuse to just do a simple job and just say this is wrong, okay? And that's a complex question because that opens up all sorts of doors to who is pulling the strings and what they're doing, what they're capable of, and why it's billions of dollars of unlimited resources. And most importantly, I think the biggest one is, shit, we've been involved for 40 years. What do we do, right? Okay. Okay, I sort of started to address this issue, and I felt like I needed to expand on it. Okay, I was mentioning in my last video the whole social network. Kevin, why are you so like crazy on social networks? This is important, and this really does apply to everything, okay? And I'm not talking about breaking laws, but it does apply to everything based on my clowny behavior, which, of course, that's so evil too, right? Clowny behavior. Okay. First off, I will say I am a fun-loving, free-spirited person who likes to joke around and tell jokes. Okay? Now that's going to be taken to extreme. Kevin's a horrible, evil clown. Whatever. That's a cover-up. Okay. Back around the MySpace days, which is very close to when my father hired me. So we're coming out of my business with Mike Huntley, around 2000. Mike Huntley's threatening my life. I'm a dead man with an entire planet. I don't know what's going on for about 6 to 8 years, where I'm sort of trying to cope and deal with a worldwide bludgeoning to kill me. All the statements, watching an entire planet try to kill me. Well, Kevin, just file a restraining order. How do I file a restraining order against the planet Earth? With 100 million network terror cells working the same paranoid schizophrenia murdering tactics. Well, Kevin, just file a restraining order against the planet. Yeah, that's gonna fucking work. Okay? Trying to make you look crazy, right? Trying to make you look completely nuts. So you're sitting there going, I don't know what to do, right? And so eventually you say, you know, I'm just going to get proof. I'm going to walk into the police station with the proof. And the police get mad at you because you have proof. But why are you mad at the victim? They should have walked up to me at 10 years old and said, Kevin, your life's in danger. Not be mad at me. Okay, so, you know what I'm saying? Like not be mad at me. So nobody should be mad at me. You should be mad at yourselves for being stupid enough to actually believe the soap opera you're fed every day. Okay, so my father, of course, we're going back to my father in his office. So eventually Lorena Escobar asked me if I want a job in my father's office, where my father wants his entire office to beat the shit out of me with a plan of people. Okay, but how do you resolve it? Hey, Lorena, this person's being really abusive. Yeah, whatever, I don't care. And then she'll start abusing you. And it'll just sort of switch and rotate from worldwide groups. You're a dead man, but nobody will say it's wrong, just like now. Okay, so you sort of have to, while in isolation, find ways to sort of go out and do things and maybe be a little social. Because why? Because that's healthy. Telling your child, trying to carry, C-A-R-R-I-E, carry your child, lock them in a closet for their entire life, is sick and demented. And who would not want their child going out, going to coffee shops, being social, getting work done, going to pool halls, being social, hanging out, having a social life, going to dance clubs, going wherever. They got mad at all those things. I go out to Sunset, go to like, whatever. Rhodey started taking me to the Key Club, and then I didn't know he was involved in all that shit. And let's sort of start veering out that direction, and everyone would get mad at me. My friends would get mad at me, like, you went to a Hollywood club? Go to coffee shops, they get mad. Play pool, they get mad. Go to the gym, they get mad. All these things are very healthy. These are healthy social environments, but they get mad. And people are told to go ballistic on me, and then they reverse it. Well, we don't feel comfortable around Kevin. I've never spoke to you. I've never spoke to these people that aren't comfortable with me. They're just following me around, throwing rocks at my head since 5 years old. So they're getting information. They're getting information and they're hunting me. Like Mike Huntley, who collects information and disseminates what he can out of context to the world, right? Michael Huntley, like a microphone. Like a guy that sits there karaokeing and acting like a fool on a microphone in my dad's house where my dad's putting shock collars on his dog Rhoda. Okay? Whatever, I'm not going to go down that topic today, but I'm sort of making the point that why are people mad at me for doing the same thing as everyone else and being friendly and social, and every stranger has a bullshit argument. He smiled at me. I think he's going to hunt me and kill me. Everyone kill him. I smile at you. It was like yours on Beltrans. I remember walking up at Adult Con, and I walk up, and it was like, oh, you're sweet yours on. I had no clue who the fuck she was. And I'm like, oh, you're sweet yours on. And I grab a card, and she has this look on her face like I fucking raped her fucking dog 50 times or something. And I grab a card, and I go, oh, cool, I'll check out your website, whatever. And that's it. And then it's you're stalking her, you're doing this to her, you're doing that to her, you're doing this to that, you're doing that to that person, you're doing this, that. I don't know one of these fucking people. Not one. How do they even know me? Well, they got to know me through disinformation, correct? Information, defamation, slander, libel, someone with unlimited billions of dollars of resources to make up hundreds of thousands of lies about me. Probably with Darren Moselle doing creative writing and shit. And boom, the like you shall not be named states. Jason says that you're crazy and you're a loon and you have childhood trauma, and why would anyone be talking to my brother, the guy I disowned like 10 years ago, realizing he's a psychotic murderer, and then tracing all these things back to the psychopath that, you know what I'm saying? That is following me, disseminating information from place to place, college to college. Hey, if Kevin moves to Hawaii, hey Hawaii, Kevin's crazy, everyone kill him. If Kevin moves to Japan, hey Japan, Kevin's crazy, everyone hunt him and kill him. If Kevin moves to Louisiana, hey everyone in Louisiana, Kevin's crazy, hunt him and kill him. How does he even have the resources with my family? Okay, you get the idea, right? That's not normal, that's insane, that's beyond any level of fucking insane. Well, Kevin, it's partly your fault. Partly my fault? How's it my fault? For finding out? Okay. Right? These people are all fucking insane. Okay. So, it's like the movie Training Day, right? You're all fucking insane or whatever. Okay, so, this is all by design to make someone look crazy and lock them away. Since 5 years old. But why? Well, I'm not allowed to have a truthful, honest conversation with my accusers. They will not. Kevin, you're imagining it. You're crazy. Okay, if they can't have an argument, they're liars. If they're liars, they're not trustworthy. That's the way the world works. Liars are not trustworthy. Period. Okay. And I'm talking about liars, not like imperfect. Okay, like the shit they try to do to me. Well, in 1977, that girl asked you if she was fat, and you said to her she wasn't fat, and she is fat. You're a liar. I'm talking pathological, like my father, who says that he went to every wrestling match. He only went to one. Who told me that I had lit our back hill on fire, which was Jason, my father. A pathological liar who systematically, nothing that comes out of his mouth is fucking true, other than I'm going to take all Jason's shit and say it was you. Okay? And everyone else's shit for that matter. Okay. Oh, so back to the point. So you need an out. You need an out. So let's go on MySpace. Now I had a question from my mother last week, like, why do you go on social networks? And I actually should have answered it more like this. I don't know. Why would I go on social networks? Why would I be social on social networks? Because social networks were designed for people to be social, correct? It's a gathering of people with common interests, and a lot of it's become more business oriented over the years, but my point is that when MySpace started, it was about people sharing their lives. Okay, so why do you go on social networks? Why do you do photography? Why do you do studio photography? That was a big thing years ago. Like, they asked why for everything. Why is your car blue? Why is your car red? Why is your shirt black? Why do you have a West Coast chopper symbol here? You're a white supremacist, see? And everything's met with these psychotic labeling and analysis. Well, this looks like it's something from Germany, so I think you're a white supremacist. You have hair on your arms, so I think because you have hair on your arms, I think you're filled with ape anger and rage, and you're an evil animal. You don't have hair here, so you can't be trusted, so I think you're a serial killer. And you didn't shave today, so you're a serial killer. And my jeans are blue, so I'm trying to kill you. And yesterday I wore a red shirt, so I'm trying to kill you. What the fuck am I seeing with these fucking retards, right? Like, is this like Dumb and Dumber on steroids? Am I in a fucking, did I wake up in the fucking twilight zone of, like, the ultimate stupidity with lack of self-control? Okay, right? Okay, so what happens is I start being social on social networks or promoting myself or whatever, or all the above, and then people start coming in, like Ariana, the black girl. Kevin, will you... She sees I'm getting into photography. She's working with George Escobar. She's working with Aubrey Fisher. They're seeing I'm getting into studio photography. Kevin, will you do a studio shoot with me? One of my first. I have a cheesy, like, piece of green cloth, not even a real green screen. And hold on, I'm going to drive safely and not get in an accident. And, I do a cheesy green screen cloth, and I do my first green screen, and my very first photo shoot. Kevin, let's go to P.F. Chang's. I'm gonna try to get a confession that Kevin's a violent paranoid schizo because he did this artwork with Professor Jim Johnson, the Mike Tyson and Katana game character, which has followed me for years. Even what was that, Black Everton, a black boxer, befriending me with his Asian wife at Yankee Doodle's pool hall and twerking on my pool cue and partially fucking up my $1,000 pool cue and shit like this. Okay, right? It just keeps going. It just keeps going. Next person, I gotta prove Kevin's crazy. Next person, I gotta prove Kevin's crazy. Well, it's because Kevin has childhood issues, right? Kevin has childhood issues. That's why stranger after stranger's hunting me to fucking exterminate me. That doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense. If you come into my life and I don't know you, and I'm the nicest motherfucker known to man, then you have no argument. Based on a one-to-one interaction. My life isn't a one to the world. It is. It's not supposed to be, and that's the problem. My wife is a one-on-one. Or I should say relationships are one-on-one. Okay? If I'm out on a fucking date, it's a one-on-one. If I have a communication with a girl on any level, whether it be business or anything else, it's one-on-one. So to try to collect my life and spew it out to the world to use against me to try to make me look like a violent paranoid schizo, and then try to get a fragment of my prior life to try to cover up what they're doing and keep it going. You understand what I'm saying? So they're trying to get things to make what they're doing look justified, even though it's not justified for any reason. Here's a good example. When I started working at Sports Medical, Lorena Escobar walks up to me and she says, Kevin, I want you to put spyware on everyone's computer. Flat out. I want you to put spyware on everyone's computer. That's what Lorena Escobar told me. I forgot all about this one because I've been so consumed with a planet trying to kill me. And I said, you know what, I'll research it. And I researched it, and I said, you know what, I'm not fucking doing this. I'm not doing this. I'm not putting spyware on fucking all the employees' computers. And what happened that I realized later was that the reason Lorena was doing it was because they already had shit on my computer. Does that make sense? So they're trying to cover it up to make it look like what they're doing is justified, with a cover-up argument, even though they had already been doing it since '94 when Jason wanted me to see the internet so bad, and they've been using other methods my entire life to try to make me look like a violent paranoid schizo. Okay, and they're not doing it because they're controlling, they're doing it because they want to do their spy game hint tactics. I know you went here, I know you said this, I know you did that, in indirect idea of reference comments to try to make someone look like a violent paranoid schizo since 5 years old. Okay, so social networks. Who would care? Just like my father in like 2011 was like, Kevin, don't buy things on the internet. The internet's not safe. Dude, everyone fucking, the entire internet is run by sales. What are you fucking talking about? Okay, so okay, so then you get into this environment where my father has like LC Sandoval and Fernanda Simi, and they're playing these games like, hey Kevin, come out to lunch with me and Lorena. And my father would have me go out to lunch Tuesdays and Thursdays with him and Lorena, while he and Lorena and the entire restaurant would take turns trying to mentally batter me and make me look crazy at each and every restaurant. Okay? So, the point I'm making here is it wasn't just my father and Lorena. It was my father and Lorena with groups of citywide, worldwide people trying to provoke me into reactions to make me look like a violent paranoid schizo because my father wants me fucking dead and gone since 5 years old, saying it's about mental illness. Once again, what's more realistic? My father's trying to torture me and kill me into a mental institution or dead because it's about mental illness? Or my father's trying to torture and kill me because he doesn't like me and he wants to file me away somewhere where I don't exist, I'm away from society or dead, correct? Okay, out of hate and rage. Okay, or shame. Kevin's building adult websites. I don't want to, so Kevin's building adult websites, playing pool, talking to people on social networks. I don't want his existence because I share the same bloodline and name. That's more realistic than Kevin's crazy and he needs to be locked in a mental institution. You understand what I'm saying? That's like, that's the shit that happens every day. I want to lock you away in a cage because I want you to be healthy is something you never ever hear, ever. Unless I raped your wife and then started saying you're fucking crazy for finding out, right? Okay, so let's stick to reality here. So, hey Kevin, let's go out to lunch. Well, Kevin, you know, I mean, social accounts, it's not really professional, and, well, dude, everyone has a Facebook, and, yeah, well, I don't have a Facebook, and there's Elsie Sandoval. Well, I don't have a Facebook, and there's Fernanda Simi. I don't have a Facebook. Oh, yeah? Okay, you go home. You go home. Let's do a little Facebook search. They all have social accounts. They're all being social. That's strange. They all said they didn't have social accounts. Why are they allowed to be social and I'm not? Oh, well, now Kevin's spying on us, right? Because we're spying on him. But I'm not spying on anyone. I'm just checking to see if they're lying or not because it's so... Okay, that's the level of restraint. That's the level of restraint. You have to be around. You blinked. Zap. Like they got a shock collar on you. You blinked. Zap. You yawned. Zap. You went on a date. You yawned. Zap. You asked a question. What's going on? Zap. Okay, you get it? Okay, so now what happened? Oh, here's another, as I go forward, here's another thing. I sort of try to have a conversation like, well, look, when you guys go out, you guys go probably like happy hour, right? You're talking about professionality, but... And I'm a million% about being professional, but 5 p.m. hits, everyone goes out to a fucking bar from the office sipping beers, right? At happy hour. Oh, but if Kevin says that, no, people don't drink alcohol because if you drink alcohol, you're an alcoholic. You can't blur the lines. You can't go out. What's going on? Why are the rules for Kevin Nazi rules with a shock collar, and the rules for everyone else completely different, where they're all out living their lives and someone's trying to shock you to death? Okay, you get it? Because they want to make someone look like a violent paranoid schizo. They want to try to wind me up and put me on edge and go, that guy's crazy, and lock him away. Now, what does that have to do with childhood? Okay, the things I'm talking about still go on all day and night today alone. What does that have to do with 45 years ago? If I'm being hunted by a fucking planet, what does that have to do with 45 years ago? And why do I have random fucking women like coming in going, well, I'm going to fucking rid you of the world with Jason? And I'm not saying that's the case to some of them. I'm saying I don't fucking know. But I'm saying most of them, Jason says you're crazy, you need to die or whatever. Well, let's get to the bottom of it. No, absolutely not. There's no, okay. Right? Why is there no dialogue? Why is the guy hunting me with a planet of people from place to place trying to execute me, a good person, and the guy walking around going, what's going on? Is someone going to fucking tell me already? I've now fought off 100 billion fucking people across 21/45 years. Do I have the right to know why I'm being hunted by a fucking planet since 5 years old? Now I can go through my 5-year-old life and I can analyze it and go, I can see how my father's I could see why my father snapped here, even though a sane, rational person wouldn't. Does that make sense? Do you understand what I'm saying? I can't blame myself because nothing really happened, but I can go, well, this is a little out of the norm, so maybe my father flipped here. Does that make sense? This is a little out of the norm, so maybe my fucking father snapped over here. Okay, you understand? Okay, but I'm not allowed to talk about that because then I need to be shocked. I'm only allowed to talk about those things with people that want to say I'm crazy and put labels on me. With prepackaged labels. Do you understand? But the people that really need to talk about it are all of you, not shitbags trying to lock someone away and muscle them into a cage and make them look crazy. Okay, so that's important. That's why it is worldwide information. Because they spew out lies to the world, and now the world needs to know the truth. Okay. So back to the social network. Kevin, why are you so weird and crazy on social networks? Okay, I'm gonna get to that. Okay, so now you start posting harmless jokes. Hey, I went out and here's a picture of my food, and maybe you do a jokey caption about the food, right? It's harmless. Maybe I go out and I do some photographic shots and I put a watermark, Kevin Perelman Photography. Now, every single time I post on the internet, I have my father's office provoke me with direct reactions. Does that make sense? Now, is that because of a joke? Me quoting in 1994 on internet relating chat, quoting Newton's 3 laws? For every action, there's an equal and opposite. For every action, there's an equal opposite reaction. An object in motion stays in motion until the object, I forgot how it goes, stops in motion, whatever. Gravity, 9.8 feet per second, whatever. Oh my God, Kevin's quoting mathematical equations. Kevin's an evil monster. Well, maybe to someone that doesn't know fucking English or have a college education, or say someone that doesn't know English and has an education might be scary. That's like if I went to if I flew out to fucking Spain right now, I probably would be afraid of what they were saying because I wouldn't know a fucking thing, right? I'd be like, parlez-vous inglés? You know, like right? Okay? But if you know English and you have a basic high school education, you're going to understand Newton's 3 fucking laws, and you're going to understand the law of gravity and things like that. Okay, so maybe what my family's doing, because you're inherently evil if you quote Newton's 3 laws, right? And what was the other one I was talking about earlier? My stoner comment. There's 2 types of people smoking weed with Jennifer Pilchick. There's 2 types of people. Those should be stoned, and those that. There's 2 types of people. Those that are stoned and those that should be stoned. Well, that's an inherently evil joke if you don't understand English or understand that weed and stoners exist, right? Like if you live in a fucking cage of isolation and you've never been around the world, or you don't know anything about humanity or the way the world is or what's out there, then it might be scary to you, right? Okay, but what does that have to do with me? Okay, so every time I post on the internet, there comes my father's office employees feeding in with schizophrenia tactics. Does that make sense? So let me think of a thing. If I post a picture of a tree, like I go out and I do a artistic tree photo with a Kevin Perelman Photography, I might come into the office and maybe they have a little tree sitting on like Gwen Suazo's desk next to me or something like that, okay? The idea of reference schizo. Now what are they doing? They're trying to shock me. They're trying to shock me for being social or expressing or promoting my photography. They're shocking me, right? Just like my father was shocking Rhoda for going into the kitchen or whatever. Put the shock collar on Rhoda. They're shocking me, right? Okay, mentally, with psychological shocking. Okay, now maybe the next day, I go to a sushi restaurant, I post the sushi food, and maybe Lenore Calderon comes out and she says, Kevin, can you fix my computer? And she sort of tries to push my buttons and get me to react, hinting, well, you know, not directly said, hinting, well, you ate sushi, didn't you? Just like Tim Thompson, right? Well, you built his all websites, didn't you? So what happens? You have two options, fight or flight. Well, you can quit. You can quit, but it's worldwide. And it's been going on since 5 years old. Correct? So what's quitting going to do? It's like me filing a restraining order against those two people right there with two white Civics backwards directed at me. What's that going to do? What's that going to do? I have 100,000 to a million people per day trying to shock me to death and kill me. What if I take a picture of those two white Civics backwards together there? What is that going to do? Or if I file a restraining order? I mean, okay, it's going to do nothing, right? We're just trying to make you go crazy. Okay, so what is the underlying unsaid message? If you go to the gym, play pool, go to coffee shops, post anything on the internet, walk out of your house, we're going to shock you to death, correct? Okay, just like Rhoda. Now, I can bet my father's even running around saying I shocked Rhoda and it's probably me, right? Okay, with Jason. Okay, so the tweets, the posts, the social posts get more and more pronounced. Do you understand? Like, I can recall a stage where I was going, Twitter post, what you gonna do? And that was followed by what? Paying off Dincy, correct? Paying off Dincy to throw me in jail. Interesting. So by me being social on social networks, me going to coffee shops where Shannon Bryan Sevo was told to follow me around and cry wolf and all that shit, from me playing pool, being socializing with people and making friends, except Kevin's not allowed to play pool, and all the waitresses are told to go ballistic on Kevin for some reason, and everyone else. And Tom Farley was telling me to harass waitresses, right? Tom Farley was telling me to harass waitresses, and I'm like, I'm not going to fucking harass waitresses, or we're going to come after you anyways. Heather's a big one, but there's a lot more to this than just Heather. There were hundreds of waitresses. There was even Jay, the manager. There was pool players befriending me and working on me, like I was telling you, Everton, trying to tweak my $1,000 pool queue. Tons of others, tons. Okay, so when people are trying to take this huge situation and make it about a couple of things that are fiction, it's huge. Okay. That was a good 8-year period. Hundreds to thousands of people coming in to pool halls provoking me. 15 years at Starbucks alone before they actually made up their lies about me on paper. 15 years, daily. Hundreds to thousands per day. Okay, so the social, or I'm promoting my photography or whatever, all the above. Twitter post, what you gonna do? You get it? You get it? Are those scary things? No, they're not scary. What's scary is the motherfuckers running around saying, if you breathe, I'll kill you. That's scary. Okay. And everyone helping. That's scary. So if Jason Perelman's running around, Kevin's crazy, help me kill him, with an entire planet, and I say, speak out about the truth, okay, who's right and who's wrong? Jason Perelman, I have an entire planet trying to kill Kevin in secret, and Kevin, stand up and speak out. Verbally speak out like you did George Floyd. Verbally. Don't hurt people. Don't take part in the stalking. I have never done anything wrong, and the fact that the LAPD tried to cover this up saying that Kevin Perelman Target was a gang stalking website, you understand, means that they had something to hide or do, because everything about me is helping people stay breathing, and me staying breathing, okay? And me staying breathing first, and then if someone else is in the same situation, they need the resources to stand up against mass groups trying to torture and kill them in an unheard of method, and in a way this verbally is, hey, you have the tools. Here's a list of websites to go to for lawyers that know about mobbing and gang stalking, lawyers that know about civil rights and your Constitution, You have tools here to speak out. Look at what these people are doing. Oh, well, Kevin's competing with the other gang stalking websites. Bullshit. That's the stupidest thing I've ever fucking heard. Because I remember there was a stage there where black people were running around, well, slavery's better than the Holocaust. And I'm thinking, like, these people are fucking idiots. Like you're a fucking idiot. If you're walking around going, slavery is better than the Holocaust, you're a fucking moron. That's like a black power moron, okay? That's you don't want to be around that type of person, okay? Slavery is horrific. The Holocaust is horrific. Holocaust is horrific. And any war in the name of we're better than you is horrific, and generally wars are horrific. Okay. So, oh, well, Kevin watches movies and he doesn't know that. Yeah, how do you know that? You never talk to me. Right? Hey, you over here on the sidewalk, how do you know that I'm a bad person over here on the sidewalk? You never fucking talk to me. And I can apply that to the line of everyone, right? I can apply that to the line of everyone at Yankee Doodles, everyone at my gym, everyone in my colleges. I can apply that to my high school teachers, my college professors, my middle school teachers, professors, everyone, every motherfucker that came at me since 5 years old. Kevin's crazy, needs to die before one word came out of my mouth. Period fucking in. Okay? You want to talk about the Wellsman poison, the Melissa Detweller Wellsman poison. No, the planet was motherfucking poison when I was born. Okay? With unheard of government resources. Unheard of. And all of you should be fucking cringing. Well, my neighbors follow me out every day going, I'm going to try to make you look crazy, and you're crazy because most of them are probably being paid off, to tell you the fucking truth. And linking right back to my father's office, but I can bet your ass there's probably government resources paying them off too, being that all the security companies involved across 45 years, okay, are being paid off, probably not just with family money, but government money. And if my sister-in-law, Jennifer Perelman, lost against Debbie Wasserman Schultz with paperwork, we need to deem Kevin as crazy for the information in my brain, then these are government things. Okay? Maybe they start with a family, but the government is not allowed to kill in the name of a family. Or for any reason. Saying, well, we're gonna bypass constitutional rights because someone in Kevin's family has resources in the government, so now Kevin's not protected. Kind of like Bob Sandler sitting in my office, right? Hey, I don't like Paul Humphrey, we need to cancel his account. Well, Bob, you can't cancel his account because you don't like him. I mean, yeah, he's annoying as fuck, but you can't cancel his account. You know what I'm saying? Okay, well, that's not what's happening. Hey, government, Kevin's annoying. Kill him. But I'm not annoying. I'm just standing up. I'm just standing up to what's right, to what's wrong, okay? So if I post a tweet, what you gonna do? And they actually throw me in fucking jail, fabricating all these charges. First of all, tweet, what you gonna do? That's not annoying. That's not annoying. But they throw me in jail for that type of thing, then the message to the world is what? Well, someone's using government resources out of hate to do something to this person, whether he's a child or starting as a child and getting older and older. Still now I'm at 50. Still going on. So that's why my tweets become so sarcastic. Hold on a second, I gotta pee. But those aren't bad. Those aren't like crazy. I'm not fucking videoing myself taking a dump or anything and putting it on Twitter, something that would really piss someone off. They're harmless things that most people would laugh about, right? And so, you know, I might say something like, oh, I had a wonderful poop, had little cornies in it. Okay, you know what? That's not horrible. That's a little out there, but it's expressive. It's pushing. It's not mean. It's not going to piss off a lot of people, but it's pushing the envelope on how do you say it? It's pushing the envelope on normal standards. Does that make sense? On the social norm. It's not offensive. It's not grotesque. But it is pushing a little on the social norms to make a statement. Tweet what you're going to do. And you see what they're doing with worldwide support. Well, Kevin's a public nuisance. Kevin's a prankster that's pissing everyone off. I'm not doing anything. I mean, if you want to compare me to like Howard Stern, Howard Stern's a fucking billion times worse than me. Everyone loves him. Okay, so think about that. Oh, but then it comes back to psychology. Well, Kevin's acting out, and if he tells jokes, he's doing it for all the wrong reasons, just like he's building adult websites for the wrong reasons, just like he's in the studio photography for the wrong reasons, just like he's going to the gym for the wrong reasons, just like he's playing pool for the wrong reasons, all the wrong reasons. Is there possibly anything that isn't wrong in Kevin Perelman's life? Like, if I could have I could have a one-to-one argument. Is there possibly anything on any level that I do? If I walk up to that donation booth there and give $10, will I be hunted and killed by a planet shocking me to death? Yes. Yes, I will. And that's where the line needs to be. That's where it needs to be discussed. What the fuck is really going on, and why are these sick motherfuckers just trying to hunt me with every resource on the planet since 5 years old, saying you're not allowed to exist? And a father's comment, you know what you did, but you're not allowed to know what you did. Okay, so nothing I did at my father's office or anywhere else, but I did want to explain that. I wanted to expand on, Kevin, why do your tweets or your social posts, why are they so out there? Well, a lot of it's I got nothing to do because there's a planet trying to fucking execute me, because I went down the road of starting company after company and trying to do things, and it's always the same since 5 years old. Kevin needs to die at all costs. Doesn't matter if I work for a company, it doesn't matter if I start a company, it doesn't matter if I go on dating sites. I remember that Adriana Olivera, she found out that I had a dating profile on some of the dating websites, and she flipped her fucking lid as if we were married. And I never dated. I mean, I started to get to know her a little, and I put her in the friendship category because she was kind of running around like an immature brat, and I didn't really relate because my mentality was higher, above hers. And okay, let me put it this way, so don't try to use this against me and say I'm obsessed or anything, but Adriana Olivera was this girl running around going, I'm gonna get the doctor's son, I'm gonna get the doctor's son. Hey, I met this guy and he didn't want to date me, so I snuck in his house and I broke some tomato juice and I threw it all over his clothes. That was Adriana Olivera. Now, she who shall not be named, not that I'm obsessed or infatuated with you or anything, but at the time, 25 years ago, was a very professional, I want to make money, I'm innovative, I'm creative, I'm not running around the room, prancing around, I'm better than you, I'm better than you, like that type of shit, right? Okay? And to find out years later that when she was saying she was going to get the doctor's son, it was really in the context that she wants to destroy me. Okay? But the point I'm making is my mentality. I'm here to make money. Example, Mike Huntley. Hey, we want to play Warcraft in World of Warcraft in the office, and we want... Mike, we're here to make money. We're not going to play the MAME emulator. We're not going to play World of Warcraft. We got to make money. We got to make money for our overhead bills. We can't play World of Warcraft in the office. And then I find out, this is ironic, I find out the only reason Mike Huntley and Bob Sandler and Tim Thompson wanted to play World of Warcraft was to send me little hinty schizo threat messages that they're playing World of Warcraft with my life. And then I remember telling that to Elsie Sandoval in my father's office like 5 to 10 years later, and her getting mad, getting defensive, like, you don't talk or we kill you. And then making up lies that I supposedly hit her and things like that because I was joking around holding a rubber glove or something from the, the rubber. Okay, so because I had something to say about Mike Huntley's behavior, here comes the next person, you don't talk. But Elsie Sandoval isn't friends with Mike Huntley. But I think Elsie Sandoval might know someone in LAPD. You get the triangle? You get the triangle here? We sent Mike Huntley after you to kill you. LC Sandoval, different office, same building, 10 years later, different office, you don't fucking talk or we kill you. Okay? Now, I don't know that for sure, but I think, because she snapped at one point. She said something like I was trying to be friendly, and she said, like, oh, my boyfriend, oh, your boyfriend, oh, you better not fucking do this to my boyfriend, or something. I didn't fucking say anything. Okay, you get the point? They're all crying wolf. You're just sitting there minding your own business, being as nice as possible. Well, Kevin, people see you different. Oh, my father, Kevin, see you different. People are afraid of you. How are strangers I've never met afraid of me and see me different? Right? Answer the fucking question. If I fucking hop on an airplane right now and fly to fucking Mumbai, or I fucking fly to Ukraine, or I fucking fly to fucking Vegas, the first motherfucker I see will be afraid of me and I need to die. But I don't know him. So who's giving out the worldwide information illegally to have me fucking killed? You get it? Hey, this guy over here getting out, what is this? Soul Food Kitchen. If I get out of the car right now, he's afraid of me and I need to die, or I'm a horrible monster and I need to die. Okay, well, I didn't do that. I've never met the guy. I can't make the guy be afraid of me. I can't make that guy be afraid of me if I haven't even spoke to him yet, correct? But Jason says, Jason running around, Kevin needs to die, Kevin needs to die, I can't live my own life, Kevin needs to die, Kevin needs to die, Kevin needs to die, I can't live my own life, Kevin needs to die, Kevin needs to die, I can't live my own life, Kevin needs to die, Kevin needs to die, Kevin needs to die, I can't live my own life, Kevin needs to die, Kevin needs to die, Kevin needs to die, Kevin needs to die, but I can't live my own life, Kevin needs to die, Kevin needs to die, Kevin needs to die, Kevin, you suffer from obsession. Huh? Right? Okay, that's what I'm seeing. That's what I started seeing at 29. Huh? The fucking psychotic crazy loons following me with billions and billions of dollars as a planetary murder operation. I make it to 29. Well, Kevin, you have a problem. Yeah, I do have a problem. Some fucking sicko's on me since 5 years old with with billions of government dollars going, I'm gonna kill you. That's a fucking problem. Okay? You get it? Kevin, you have a problem too. Well, because I think in the internet-related chat days, when I was typing really fast, I used the number 2 instead of ATWO, right? So I need to die. Because if I don't dot every I or cross every T, I need to die. Okay, well, let's have a verbal argument. Verbal argument? I don't know what you're talking about. You're crazy. Oh, so my accusers don't have an argument on facts, logic. Right? There's no fact, logic, there's no, you're crazy. You're crazy, you're a monster, you generalize, you stereotype, you're a criminal, you scare people, okay, but what specifically is going on? Oh, I can't answer that. Right? I can't answer that one. But your brother said this. George Escobar said this. Or no, they don't say that. They just hint. They don't say it. Well, actually, some of the very few. Adriana Olivares. She put her brother in a mental institution, and she needs to put me in a mental institution. Well, all right, we keep coming back to this mental institution thing. Link to Jason, but I was wrong. Nothing's ever directly said. Not like I had one fragment of a conversation. I think last week. Jason says you have childhood issues. Whether that's even true or not, I don't know. But what I can tell you is nobody's going to know if I have childhood issues, or I don't even want to say that. You can't define me based on anyone else. You can only define me based on our interactions. So if I walk into a fucking pool hall or restaurant, and I'm thankful and I tip and I'm respectful, then that's the only judgment you can make. Okay? So I remember years ago, like, they had a pathological employee named Kevin, ironically, right? And he kept making up lies about me and this and that, and I don't remember. I don't even know where I'm going with that one. Whatever. Nowhere in these interactions ever, now, then, or ever, have I been treated based on a one-to-one interaction that Kevin's being as nice as fucking can be to me. Even the girls at the gym, when it was World's Gym. Okay? Like when Mike's running around with this Laura girl saying I'm filled with anger and rage and did shit to her. There's nothing I did to her. I sort of started to get a little flirty. And we have these women are like nitpicking imperfection, trying to grab anything. And then I remember there was one trainer girl, and like I worked out at nights and mornings, and then I was working out one morning, and I said, "Oh, I used to see you at night, now you're here in the morning," and she like clammed up like I fucking, like the Eurozone, like you raped me look, like, and I obviously didn't know her well enough to ask her why she had that look. It was like I ruined her life by simply starting to initiate a conversation, right? Okay, but was she clamming up because I'm a scary dude, or was she clamming up because she'd been given information? Just like the flower frenzy girl. There's a girl a trainer girl, and she wanted to go on a date, and then she played this game, trying to play these mind games that she couldn't go on a date because the boyfriend broke down the door, and I was like, okay, this is getting kind of, and then it's Kevin needs to die. Okay, and then it was interesting because I remember when Rody Morales, the gym manager, befriended me to take me to strip clubs and was working with LAPD on the investigation for this guy that supposedly killed someone, and then the schizo cover-ups and all that, trying to plant trash bags of drugs in my house, and I believe that those were probably LAPD drugs, like LAPD confiscated drugs. Tried to plant them in my house and frame me, didn't work. And fuck, I just lost my thought about him. Oh, and he was playing these weird mind games like, hey, I have a guy here I want you to meet because he wants to do a website about gym seats with cameras in them. And he takes me to Van Nuys Rhino or whatever. And I didn't realize he's sort of trying to hint about like hard-ons and exercise bicycle machines. Okay, all these things are happening, like, and if I knew he was sort of trying to hint about me, I'd be like, Rody, how would you fucking know if I had a fucking hard-on or not? Well, bicycling on an exercise bike. I mean, what kind of fucking sick fuck are you, like, trying to look in my fucking pants? And, okay, you know what I'm saying? Like, and that's the people we're dealing with. Like the last two videos of LAPD and the security guy, and the only reason they're really coming over with Lauren is to peep in the fucking window, trying to be peeping Toms with like peeping Tom Farley. Okay, there's your real answer, that people like peeping Tom Farley are trying to get anything to use against me since I was a young child. That's the real answer. Okay, with their psychotic personalities. Okay, okay, I'm going to pause this. I'm going to type in some GPS coordinates here on my random LA driving here. Okay, so that sums up why my sarcastic or jokey tweets get more and more aggressive with the level of punching me in the back of the head every time I do something for my life. And that doesn't just apply to sarcastic, jokey tweets or social posts. It also applies to, like, if I do a new piece of artwork and people get really fucking mad. And every piece of artwork I create, even if it's like me fucking around and not even like doodling and shit, they get really fucking mad. Whether it's a finished, intricate piece of work, example, if, like when I did the, what was it, the,
There's a 12-minute slowdown on I-110 North in 0.5 miles. You are still on the fastest route.
like I did my Bear in the City artwork, and the bear's stepping on a Jeep Cherokee, sort of making a joke about Psycho Kelly Hatch with their worldwide stalking groups, and everyone pulls out Jeep Cherokees in front of my house. Okay, now why do they do that? Because my artwork ruined their life, or they're doing it to try to shock me to death?
The I-110 North ramp.
Or are they doing it to shock me to death because your kind isn't allowed to create art like everyone else? You get it? So it's not the artwork. They're not mad at my artwork. They're mad that I'm going out and trying to live my life. Okay, you get it? They're going out because they're mad at me for going out and trying to live my life. They're not mad at the artwork. I mean, if I post a fucking harmless sketch from 1988 and people start hunting me to kill me, just like my Jim Johnson artwork, they're not doing it because the artwork's a crime. They're doing it.
Continue on I-110 North for 4 miles.
Their statement is that your kind is not allowed to go out and do anything. We're gonna fucking shock you to death, or mentally bludgeon your fucking skull in for doing the same thing as everyone else. Okay, so that was my point about happy hour. Well, you can't go to happy hour with the coworkers because you're blurring the lines. But everyone else can go out on happy hour, nobody cares. You can't drink alcohol because if you're a businessman, businessmen don't drink alcohol. Okay, that's my family. But they're all hypocrites. Because they can do it and I can't. Why are they doing it? To try to drive me crazy, to get a reaction, to force me into a mental institution. Why? Because Kevin's crazy? No, you're meddling in some fucking guy's life, telling what he can and can't do. Because you don't want him to breathe out of hate. Correct? Okay. Let's see, not allowed to go to coffee shops and keep going. Oh, and anger, same type of thing with coffee shops. You're not allowed to go to coffee shops. I have random strangers walk up like, you're not allowed to go to coffee shops. Who the fuck are you? I don't walk up to you and go, you're not allowed to fucking do laundry. You're not allowed to brush your teeth. You're not allowed to drink beer. If I walked up to someone and said, you're not allowed to drink beer, they look at me, they'd be like, dude, get lost, right? They'd be like, and if I had people following them, they'd fucking probably blow my brains out, right? Okay, so the point is that these things, they're being done, they're unheard of. And when they do them, it's not one fucking loony that you just go, dude, get lost, you fucking idiot. It actually is to a point where they're trying to push you to fucking start blowing people's brains out, okay? Now, that's interesting, because when Dincy's falsifying paperwork saying, with paying off Starbucks employees, that Kevin supposedly threatened to kill all Starbucks customers, which is all on video, that there's nothing I did but walk in, video recording, be nice, and be harassed by them. Like every other location, you get the idea that they don't care about right or wrong or truth. They care about extermination. And Dincy's pretty much a KKK skinhead, white supremacist anyways, and all these people are actually supporting, and a lot of the Starbucks employees are supporting the fucking white supremacist Nazi skinheads, and they're lying hypocrites and full of shit because they're mad at me for kissing a black girl when I was 8. So think about that. Okay, like Garrett and all the other fucking people. Okay, so okay, now I just put world spying on my accounts and electrical shocks or shocks. It's not just in Golden State Sports Medical. Okay, this is happening worldwide. So, and that was, I haven't even worked there for 5-6 years after I disowned my father or whatever. Worldwide. So if I post a tweet right now and come home, the neighbors, if I post a tweet right now and walk in the store here and wherever I am, I don't even know where I am, by Slauson Ave, probably the first person that sees me will feed off in a spy game method of psychological warfare. But why does he care that I go out and live my life? Well, because you know what you did, but I don't have an argument. Or it'll be on things like, when you were 5 years old, you stole a 30-cent Jolly Rancher. You know, something weird like, huh? Okay, So how do you have the information and why do you care? It's so insignificant, right? Well, you're a criminal because when you were 5 years old, you stole 30 cent Jolly Rancher. You'd be like, oh, but you're with your friend there, and he's a fucking gun runner. You know, like, okay. So, right, so, okay. So, what did I put? Pattern of people wanting me to be in their life to collect things to use against me. Yeah, that's a big one.
Take exit 28 for Martin Luther King Jr.
Okay, that's a good 45-year... I want to befriend you, to talk to you, to try to make you look crazy. Okay, Lauren, my neighbor 2 doors down, perfect example. I'm joking around, talking about my disco light. Next night the cops come over for the disco light. I give her a chair that I'm getting rid of. Cops come over. I'm joking around with her about psychic things. People are destroying my car, saying I'm on the run, crazy, saying Kevin thinks he's a psychic and this and that, and it really doesn't matter if I am psychic or not psychic, or I'm crazy or not crazy, or I'm Jewish or not Jewish, or black or not black, or Latin or not Latin, or Asian or not Asian, or don't have eyebrows or do have eyebrows. It does not give Lauren or anyone else the right to sit there and say, I think he's crazy, I'm going to try to force him into a mental institution. Now, Lauren is from Florida by my brother, just like Skylar Stephanie. Okay, I'm just going to note that. And she's in the number, I think, 14 in the Blake Mitchell porn house, which the Blake Mitchell porno was filmed in. Is there something relevant to that or not? I don't know, but I'm just going to state it how it is. While she waits for me all day, following me around, trying to get me to talk to her. And it's not just Lauren, it's pretty much almost every girl. It's like when Skylar's coming in, or Sia Nijitang in college, or Val Morozov in college taking me to strip clubs, or Eric Christensen, or Sherry Christensen, or Josh, what was his name? Josh from Southern Oregon State College that made me cut trees on Christmas Day. Josh... Not Josh Rotenberg, Josh, can't remember, drove a Mustang, had a 72 Mustang or something. Josh the pool player, waitresses, all sort of trying to dig for information on their spy game tactics and try to make me look like I have paranoia. But the question is, why is it being done in this repetitive, till they sort of try to push you on edge and try to break you, until something really bad happens, and they go, he's crazy, got locked in a mental institution, right? Okay, so, what did I put? Oh, Mike Huntley, perfect example. Mike Huntley seemed to come back in my life when I was talking about my father putting shock collars on dogs with my friend Daryl Loon. Okay, a fellow pool player at University of Colorado, a Singapore exchange student. Okay, well, you're going to say, why can't Kevin have a conversation in confidence with his friend, Daryl Loon? It's not a public forum. It's not like I'm on the news saying, Dr. Ronald Barry Perelman put shock collars on his dog. I'm having a private conversation with an exchange student from Singapore, and that information shouldn't be going out to circles saying you're a snitch, you're dead, or you're right. You understand what I'm saying? I mean, if that's how your life were to be, how could you ever talk to your girlfriend or friends about your personal things? You wouldn't be safe. Oh, well, but now you're paranoid, right? And you need to be locked in a mental institution.
Take exit 28 for Martin Luther King Jr. Boulevard.
Okay, so the entire operation is designed to make someone look crazy and exterminate them. So now you're going to say, why are these people so mad at a 5-year-old? Okay.
Take exit 28.
Mike Huntley microphone. I don't know. They use names as literals. So Mike Huntley microphone.
In 1,000 feet, continue onto South Hill Street.
Look, Rody Morales was used to hint that I did something to someone with my car, and then the LAPD were running around hinting and saying that I killed someone with my car and weird things like that. Michael Huntley applies to hunting someone in literals. The name, hunting, and microphone, and Mike was being an ass puppet when I was a teenager with a microphone, whatever, when Greg Waugh would blast porno and things on an outdoor speaker, and I guess say it was me and things like that, right? And I believe at that time, like, the neighbor started yelling. Our dog Rhoda kept barking outside. The neighbor told me they were gonna give our dog a poison steak or something. Whatever. I mean, things don't really matter, but they're probably making them matter. Like, I did this, or okay, maybe my father's running around staging the entire thing, saying I pissed off the neighbor to try to push him to his head. I don't fucking know, right? Because they're all psychotic murderers. So who knows? And at that time, Jason was told to show me horror movies with his friends, and then say I'm a psychotic murderer who watches horror movies, and you get the idea, right? But nobody's mad at Jason Perelman and friends for trying to make a harmless kid who's a really good person look like a crazy person, and then at the end of the day, it's things that don't matter. Well, when you were a kid, you watched horror movies. Okay, so? When you were a kid, you watched horror movies, so? If nobody watched horror movies, they wouldn't sell. They wouldn't make them. Okay? Everyone watches fucking horror movies. I don't want to say everyone, but there's a huge sect, and Lauren seems to be mad about that. Horror movies. I've seen this pattern of behavior over and over with random strangers that are mad at me for watching horror movies, and my only comment is, well, but why aren't you mad at Jason for showing me so many? Jason and friends. And all the shit he was doing, like telling me, he would show me Texas Chainsaw Massacre, and he'd tell me Jeff Allen's mother tried to chainsaw a heart in his door, trying to flip me out. You're not mad at Jason, you're mad at me for being like, hey, Kevin, check out this movie. Okay. But what about Jason? That's like being mad at someone for fucking pulling out a gun and shooting at you. Well, you're a horrible person because you had to dodge bullets. Right? Isn't that kind of similar with everything I'm talking about here? You keep bleeding on me. Stop. They keep bashing your head in with crowbars, and you keep bleeding on me. Stop. What about the guy bashing my head with a crowbar? You're going to fucking stop that? Or you're just going to keep letting it go? And you can come after me for bleeding on you. Okay. It's always the same. It's this like backwards hick cult. Worldwide backwards hick cult. Right? Okay. So... And it's by design, obviously, because nobody would just sit there and let it go. They'd start publicly speak. This is fucking wrong. Kevin, I see what's going on. This is wrong. I'm going to start telling everyone I know. I see what's going on. Whatever. Anything. Okay? Not just, I'm look the other way. I'm neutral. Die. Okay. I'm neutral. Die by a planet for no reason. Right? Okay, Lorena Escobar, George Escobar, stalking me for getting into cars. Okay, no, this is important. Okay, so I think I already mentioned it. George Escobar was extremely aggressive. George Escobar seemed to be linked to Dominique in the office, saying weird things like, you know, Dominique's brother works for LAPD and he's in the division to catch people in a kiddie porn. Now remember, a lot of these things they take out of movies. Do you understand? So maybe someone shows me the movie Donnie Darko, and if you've seen Donnie Darko, you'll get the, hey Kevin, watch Donnie Darko, and then maybe then George Escobar might walk up and say, hey, you know, Donnie's brother is in works for the LAPD under the kiddie porn division, right? You see now we just had the Kevin's a stalker with the Vanilla Sky, Adriana Olivares. Kevin, I want you to see Vanilla Sky. Kevin, you're a stalker. Okay. George Escobar, Adriana Olivares, we're seeing connected events here from people at Golden State Sports Medical with Lorena Escobar and my father. Okay, you get it? Okay? Now I can apply this to thousands and thousands of movies. Honestly, probably about hundreds of thousands, probably. Try to make Kevin look like he conforms to the media. And that all starts, as I explained, from the movie Wizards with my father. If you don't want to believe me on that one, you can believe me on every other one. But that's how the onion is peeled, and we go backwards down to day one. Okay? And if there's a pattern of behavior with the people around me all the way down to 5 years old, then it reinforces the truth. And it's not a delusional reinforcement, because every day I get the same things on video from stranger to stranger, okay? That shouldn't be happening at all, under the pretenses that Jason says Kevin is crazy. And Jason is welcome to fucking say Kevin is crazy and go live his miserable fucking life with his pathetic loser politician wife, who I can't imagine how the motherfucker even gets a hard on with that piece of shit. Okay? I'd be like super floppy dick, dude. I'd be like, my dick would be fucking hitting the ground if I fucking saw her. Like, she's gonna try to bite it, she's gonna try to cut it off, she's gonna be like, I'd be like fucking, my dick would go from fucking like, it'd be dragging fucking 5 miles on the ground after fucking being around that girl for a fucking week. Let me tell you, and I have. But I didn't know how fucking psycho she was with using politics and her father and Debbie Woolman in 17 in courtroom 1. I mean, this shit is unfucking believable. Their fucking hate and rage and obsession. And fine, he thinks I'm crazy. Don't invite me to fucking Florida to see my nephew try to set me up and do all this fucked up shit with women, and don't have women veering off from Florida towards me. And that's the point. You know they're fucking liars. And the only realistic, there really could only be probably 2 answers. Jason hates Kevin and he's trying to kill him because he hates his fucking guts. Or Jason wants the family inheritance.
Turn right onto West
okay?
15th Street.
But then we link to my father and everyone in his office. Now you're going to say, well, Jason doesn't really hang out and drink beers with my father's office employees here. Okay? So now we're opening up doors to more complicated things, correct? Because Jason's off in Florida. I haven't spoke to Jason in 10 years. People are still hunting me with Golden State Sports Medical. Okay? Hence the newest damage on my car, and their attacks to my vehicles are getting more and more aggressive, and their stalking and provoking and setup attempts are getting more and more aggressive. And George Escobar recently, this last week, poked his head out of the snake hole in a nervous, Kevin's talking to my father, and I don't really talk to my father, but it came around from my father calling my mother.
12 minutes, slow down on I-10 East in 0.5 miles. You are still
you know,
on the
and
route.
George trying to make up whatever his lies about me to cover up. And before that, I believe it was a friend of Shelley Humphrey, my father's wife, which is also heavily involved in these Kevin needs to die. So how do we go from Shelley Humphrey, someone I did nothing to, just like all my father's girlfriends I did nothing to, but Jason did, and Jason and friends did, but they're all coming after me. Okay? You get it? Jason and friends with the frame jobs, but it keeps coming back to me. And then my father's entire office is working on me, and then more frame jobs. But now it's not Jason and friends, right? And then my father sat there for 14 years, sitting next to me,
turn
on and off.
West 17th Street, then turn right onto South.
My father sat next to me on and off when he was in the office, and he watched people like.
Turn left onto West 15th Street.
He watched people like the X-ray techs provoking me over and over endlessly, and the rest of the office. Wouldn't admit to it. Kept saying I'm too sensitive and weird shit like that. So now it's no longer just Jason, is it? It's no longer just Jason and friends. And now we can go back to Brian Weaver. Brian Weaver was my friend, not Jason's friend. Gregoire was my friend who sort of took part and didn't take that one. Whatever. I'll get in that. Working both sides of the fence. Brian Weaver, Gregoire, Tom Hoke. I can't really specifically too much on Tom Hoke. Tom Farley is very important. Paul Humphrey and Tom Farley, very big kill Kevin players, if that's what you want to call them. And when I say players, I don't mean in a fictional fantasy type of way. I mean some of the heavy hitters that probably took a lot of money. Okay, that's what I mean. So don't take my shit out of context. And Tom Farley came into my life around 8 years old. To keep things in perspective, stalking me. Okay, so, George Escobar, I think I mentioned. So I bought a camera, working with Aubrey Fisher, working with Ariana.
Left onto West Pico Boulevard. Turn right onto South Olive Street.
Okay, so Ariana, and what you're noticing here, this is very important. Ariana, these connected events from people, they're not related. They're not friends, okay? So when Tom Farley's on the horn... No, let me rephrase that. When there's a communication line with Tom Farley and Aubrey Fisher, they're not friends. They're not talking on the phone, but there's a form of communication on the internet that's linking everyone worldwide together. And I just call them the NSA government kill systems built around me. Because I don't have proof, but I'm watching it go on minute by minute. So there's systems built around me to kill, okay? Billions and billions of dollars invested on systems to torture and kill with every lame, unheard of, cover-up excuse. Well, Kevin's a bad guy because he farted wrong in college. Kevin's a bad guy because I think his paper, he's too sensitive when he wrote his paper. Okay, stupid shit that you would never even conceive. And you want to know why it's teensy-tiny stupid shit? Because they couldn't fucking set me up for the big shit. While sending women after me on IRC, internet-related chat in '95, just come over, the door's open, and you knock on the door, and it's a black guy, and it's like, where's so-and-so? Oh, there's no girl there named by that. Okay, trying to set me up for like breaking and entering and shit. That also probably links back to Kelly Hatch. Hey, Kelly, can I borrow this from you? Sure, go in my room, the door's open. Kevin broke into Kelly's house's room. Kevin stole her truck. Kevin did this. Oh, wait, I'm just conversing with a friend, and she said this, and now, why is it the fucking Spanish Inquisition with worldwide support on every fucking thing known to man, right? Everything is the Spanish Inquisition. Why did you comb your hair like that? We're gonna hunt you and kill you. Why do you have so much hair on your arm? We're gonna hunt you and kill you. Why did you eat broccoli for dinner last night? We're gonna hunt you and kill you. Why does your pee smell like asparagus? We're gonna hunt you and kill you. Why have you been at more than one coffee shop per day? We're gonna hunt you and kill you. Right? Everything's a fucking Spanish Inquisition. You think that's because of my reckless, out of control behavior, like Mike Huntley's saying? No! There's no reckless, out of control behavior. If anything, my behavior is reserved. Okay? Oh, but now you're too reserved, and that's a problem. Okay, so it doesn't matter. Okay, so, okay, so George Escobar sent after me, and remember, it's all of them, but George Escobar, heavy hitter on the, I don't want you getting into photography, and I don't want you getting back into cars, when I bought a '69 Firebird, and I ended up selling it to him, and then he restored it and then wanted to sell it back to me. I was like, of course, while taking turns of anger and rage on me, I'm like, what's this guy fucking playing at, right? Like, what's he trying to set me up or frame me for? And, oh, that's right, I forgot. Okay, here, I forgot. Okay. I buy the Firebird. It totally needs restoring. I buy a Firebird, it needs to be restored. At Sensei Sushi on Winnetka and Ventura, I see a 60, no, it was a 67. I think it was a 67 Firebird. At Sensei Sushi, Ventura and Topanga, I see a gray 67 Firebird with black stripes. Okay. Now my Firebird's sitting there because I can't get to focusing on the Firebird because there's a planet full of people trying to kill me with the Golden State Sports Medical murder mob that I'm imagining. So the car just sits there. I can't get to focusing on the car. Just like now, you're seeing I'm trying to work on the cars, and people are told to go ballistic on me every time I walk down to the garage to work on my car, trying to provoke me and set me up for working on the car. Same type of thing, right? Okay, so I can't find the time to focus on the car with a plant trying to kill me. Imagine that. So George says I want to buy the car. So I see a gray, silver one with black stripes. Instantly, George Escobar wants to buy. Now this is on the gang stalking psychological warfare tactics. George wants me to buy the Firebird, wants to buy my Firebird, and he restores it with people he knows, and then he wants to sell back to me. Now remember, one of their lies is that I'm a schizophrenic copying everyone. Well, if I'm a schizophrenic that's copying everyone, why does George have to buy the car from me, make it look like a mimic to the other car, and then sell back to me, and I say, I don't want it? Okay? If I'm a schizophrenic, we're talking about fact. Okay? Not George's lies. Kevin's crazy and Kevin needs to die. We're talking about fact. If I'm crazy and I need to die, why did George Escobar buy the car from me, make it identical to the other guy's car, and then want to sell it to me? And me saying no. And I can continue busting all of you up like that, fucking minute by minute. Okay, and that's why you don't want a fucking conversation. Okay, because George is trying to make Kevin look like a violent paranoid schizo, but why? And Lorena Escobar, non-relation, non-marriage, non-blood, and then it switches, Kevin's paranoid, and Kevin thinks that the Escobar cartel is after him. And then we have Lenore Calderon. Lenore, what the fuck is this shit about? Well, you're the boss and doing little weird mobster boss things, references, okay? Well, she was trying to set me up with all these freaky things as I'm trying to walk away. Okay, and ongoing the whole time. Okay. That's fact. That's fact. George is Escobar, who's running around now in a panic. We got to put holes in the back of Kevin's window with people linked to Shanna Bryan Seva. That's fact. Okay? Those are factual situations, one of 100 fucking thousand, probably a lot more, that are happening from person to person. Kevin's a schizophrenic, so I'm going to buy his car, copy that other guy's, and then try to sell back to him. To show the world I'm a schizophrenic. Well, if that's what he's doing, that means I'm not a schizophrenic. And it means that he has ulterior motives. And it sure as shit ain't because I have childhood issues. Because if I had childhood issues, I would have enough problems without psychotic murderers hunting me, going, you're not perfect, we're going to kill you. Do you get it? But I've never heard of a situation where psychotic murderers are hunting you to kill you because you suffer from mental illness. I've only heard of psychotic murderers killing you because I want your house, I want your car, I don't like you, you talk to my girlfriend, whatever. You understand? Okay. So what does that have to do with Kevin, trauma, childhood, mental illness, crazy? Nothing. It has to do with fucking psychotic murderers. Interesting that my brother was showing me the movies. No. Well, he was showing me the horror movies, but it's interesting that when my brother and Darren Moselle put the knife up to my throat, saying, let's make Kevin the fifth member of the Bee Gees, he was videoing his little movie he called Psychos. Well, what are you going to say? Kevin's an evil guy for making a movie Psychos by standing there with a knife up to his throat? And is that a traumatic event? No, it wasn't a traumatic event because it was in the context of us sort of running around with a little VHS movie camera. But when Jason is running around saying Kevin's crazy and trying to make Kevin look like he conforms to media from thing after thing, and then after that showing me 100,000 horror movies, and then maybe them going out and throwing... okay, this kind of sucks. I'm in Pasadena here, and I've been talking, so since I changed, I don't know, there's an accident, I'm trying to sort of do multiple things here. So I turned the camera around here, and I noticed that the last hour and a half I've been talking, probably since Chinatown. My camera's on time-lapse. something going on here. I'm trying to figure this out. Look at an accident. Okay, so... Oh, we can go on this lane. Okay, so I actually my camera's on time-lapse for an hour or two. So I might have an audio level, which will suck because it'll be all black. Yeah, car accident. It's not a big deal. He blocked that way? What the fuck? Okay, let's go this way. Motorcycle. Okay, motorcycle accident. My fault, I did it. Okay, so, that's what would happen. Okay, so, ironically, I've been talking fucking for like 2 hours, I think. And this camera's on time-lapse. So, hopefully it'll have an audio layer. It'll just be black, so that sucks. Okay, so, and I turn this camera around. I turn the camera around to video the accident, and I notice it's on time-lapse. What's going on? So, saying Kevin's crazy and trying to make Kevin look like he conforms to media from thing after thing, and then after that showing me 100,000 horror movies, and then maybe them going out and throwing frogs up and watching... Okay, I filled up an SD card. So where was I? I was talking about Jason making his little movie Psychos, the knife up to the throat. Because when Jason, we're talking about credibility here. We're talking about a guy that's running around his entire life saying Kevin's crazy. A guy that shows me horror movies, Kevin's evil guy for watching horror movies. A guy that's doing all his road rage shit, Kevin's evil because I did my road rage shit. Doing shit to my father's girlfriends, Kevin's crazy. And he's trying to sabotage relationships. A guy that holds knives up to your throat or works with Darren Moselle that holds knives up to your throat, even though it's his little movie Psychos and he's exerting psychotic behaviors. Wait, aren't we kind of back to that Kevin's crazy and thinks that media is real? Kevin plays pool, so therefore Kevin thinks that life is a game. Right? These things are all the same, right? They're the same cover-up after cover-up. But when we're talking about credibility, the kind of guy that holds knives up to people's throats and dicks around with them, you know, he's not the most credible guy here, Mr. Urologist here with his politician wife. Okay, now, would I normally care? No, I wouldn't normally care. I never did care. I never thought about it. By the way, we're in Chinatown. Saucy, where are you? Where are you, Saucy? Oh, I'm stalking a Thai girl in Thailand. I'm stalking a Thai webcam girl in Thailand. Saucy, where are you? Right, and that's the absurdity. That's the fucking absurdity. So now I'm an obsessed stalker because I'm joking around about Lucky Star or whatever. Saucy, where are you? You can be my lucky star. Okay, right? And that's the absurdity. Who would fucking care? And that's the fucking point. If anything, Saucy would be like,
then sharp left onto North
would be like impressed, like, not, I don't want to say impressed, but like, hey, there's a guy in the United States joking around, right? What's the word I'm looking for? Not impressed, happy that she's getting the attention. My recall is fucked from all this. Happy that she's getting the attention from some guy in the United States just joking around with cute, harmless jokes or whatever. Okay, so, and that's, in my life, you're an obsessed stalker and you need to die. Okay, you get it? Okay, and it goes worldwide. And then you're going to say, of course, like I did in the beginning, but how does this girl in Thailand know me? If I'm fucking around, surfing around, and all the girls on Twitter are luring me to my free cams, and then a webcam opens up and the girl starts whistling when she sees me watching it. And remember that the whistling tactic starts 20 years ago at 29, where I was noticing 40 to 100 people walk by on the streets down in LA and Hollywood and Oxnard, Laguna, going, what the fuck's going on? Okay, with the paranoid schizophrenia tactics to off someone. Okay? Well, Kevin thinks it's a game, so we gotta kill him. I don't know what to think. Even right now, 49, turning 50 in 2 weeks. Wait. Today's the 9th? 10 days. I'll be 50 in 10 days.
U-turn.
I'll be 50, great. Great. I can look back at my fucking life here and just want to kill myself, right? I mean, great.
In 500 feet, make a U-turn.
And...
Make a U-turn.
And then you're going to say, because what is my life? And then you're going to say,
turn right onto Diamond
it has no meaning, it has no purpose. Just try to stop a worldwide murder operation since 5 years old for no fucking reason. Okay, so then you're going to say, it's adjacent, conforming to media, paranoid schizophrenia tactics, credibility. Okay, now here's a guy, since I don't want to have to say this shit about Jason, I'd rather just be out living my fucking life. But guess what? There's a worldwide fucking campaign to kill me for no reason other than you need to die, 35 years old, and you're not allowed to say anything while we hunt you. The more you focus on living your life, the more we're going to hunt you. Okay, from stranger to stranger, worldwide. Okay, well, I think I have a right to breathe. That's the answer. I have a right to live, I have the right to breathe, I have the right to say you all have been lied to by these psychotic murderers. Reasoning? Well, you do the math. Don't sit there and run around playing stupid like Jason's trying to kill me because he wants me to have a good life. Okay? And my father and whoever else is involved, because Shelly's heavily involved, my father's involved. Okay, so, and they don't want to hear the truth. They don't want the truth. They've showed that they're coming after me. They're not going to listen.
Turn right onto West 3rd Street, then take the California 110.
And there's no room for discussion now, then, or ever. And
take the California 110 North ramp, then keep right at the fork.
And so, you do the math. It's like Adolf Hitler killing the Jews. There's no room for discussion. Hey, Adolf, you're wrong. Adolf, we're not the inferior race. We're good people. I know you think we're dirty Jews. I know you think our armpits smell, Adolf. But with Shanna Bryan Seva, Shanna Bryan Seva, Starbucks, and the Russian guy that's poking the holes in the back of my fucking window here, and Val Morozov, I know you think that we're the inferior race. Us Jews are the inferior race because our armpits smell. So let's have a discussion about it while you're hunting us to kill us with every resource on the planet.
In 1,000 feet, merge onto California 110.
Okay? Okay, what are we going to talk about? Okay, so, going the wrong way. It's stuck in huge 5 p.m. traffic in LA. Okay, so, Jason doing Psychos with Darren Moselle. Darren Moselle linked to Hollywood. Darren Moselle linked to Hollywood. Navi, the neighbor, telling me to throw rocks in Darren Moselle's pool to create splashes. That might explain why Persian groups are hunting me. You don't talk or we kill you. About things that you'd be like, they don't even matter, except they do matter because they're so fucking huge now, right? You understand? It's so fucking huge. It's not some little neighborhood event anymore. It's a huge ordeal. When Navid is framing me with Darren Moselle, and then Darren Moselle's running around saying I'm going to kill Kevin over farting wrong by me his entire life with this crazy obsession like Adolf Hitler, working with my brother, working with all my brother's friends. Okay. So you're talking about a guy, that example, like, is grabbing frogs in our backyard by the pool, throwing them up and watching them splat on the ground. Stupid kid shit, but if you want to do the sake of owls like they're doing to me, okay, the guy is saying I'm crazy is a fucking murdering sicko, okay? And you're not seeing me do that shit. I'm out grabbing a fucking wrench and twerking on a fucking intake manifold and taking it on or off and putting in smaller or bigger pistons or shaving down heads or bigger valves or smaller valves or valve springs or camshafts. Okay, everything I'm doing is positive. It's, oh, but we gotta kill you because no Hidden Hill 16-year-old would ever work on cars.
Continue on California.
Right? It just goes crazy, right? Okay. So yeah. So Kevin, just go live your life. Well, but what is my life? It's a planet of people that want me dead for no reason. Correct? So go live your life. Go make money. Okay, that's great. And the people trying to kill me, they're going to pay for my product or service? Right? But you're imagining it. But it's on video every day, all day, 24/7. I'm sure, I wasn't even looking, but I'm sure half the people down here in downtown LA, they were watching me drive by, were doing all sorts of cryptic shit, idea of reverence shit, to try to make me look schizo. I wasn't even paying attention, but it happens all over. Okay, so, Dominique, Fernanda Simi. Fernanda Simi instantly latched on as my father hired me. My father had Lorena Escobar approach me. Kevin, we want you to do the IT in the office. Sure. I did a phenomenal job, by the way. I'm going to tell you right now. I took their old NT40 servers, upgraded them. I'm guessing the Windows 2000 at the time. Turned them to, brought in a server rack, did Dell PowerEdge servers. As technology grew, I turned it into a virtual environment through ESXi, VMware. I modularized the whole network. Shit, I didn't have to do. I went out of my way with Lorena Escobar. Don't change anything. Don't touch anything. Lorena. They're NT40 servers. They're not compatible with anything in like 2008. Okay, we gotta change them. No, see, Kevin's changing things. He's a public nuisance. Shannon Bryan Seva. Kevin, you need to put in the old outdated mail server. And we can't. It doesn't even. They don't even make it anymore, right? You couldn't have these dialogues because they'd come in. You do what we tell you, or we kill you. Weird things. And then it was all sort of staged. Okay. Hey, we have magically today, 15 people couldn't send out emails. Well, can you send me the bounce reports? Sure. Well, I see 15 emails here that didn't get to their destination, but like 11 of them, it says email doesn't exist. Wait a minute. 15 emails didn't go to the sender, and 11 of them don't even exist. Kevin, you better put in the old server. Kevin, impossible. Right? Okay, so I think I have like 13 servers. Okay, I had 3 Active Directory domain servers, NS servers, for redundancy. I had a Zimbra email server. I had, it was called Pervasive. That was the
take exit 22B toward 9th Street.
Pervasive was their software, their medical software. I don't remember what it was called. CalMed, piece of shit. Total piece of shit. Had this little ODBC, it was actually programmed in Oracle and converted over, and it was a separate ODBC. It was just a total piece of shit. It was a lemon of a software. Okay, I should probably look at where I'm going. As my phone looks like it's about to die. Oh shit, 1%. Let me Oh, I think I need this. Okay.
Take exit 22B, then keep left at the fork.
22B. Okay, so what else do I have? I just want you to understand when these people are saying I'm a fraud, and not that it really matters. So we have the pervasive server, the CalMed server. The mail server, Zimbra. 3 name servers. I think I had a separate SQL server. What else? What else? A long time ago. What else? SQL server, name server.
In a quarter mile, take exit 22A toward Olympic Boulevard.
I can't. There are a couple other servers. I can't. They might come back to me. Zimbra is a Linux-based email server. I converted over the mail server from Windows to Linux. If anyone that knows IT, I'm sure you know that mail servers are a nightmare with virus shit attachments, and so Linux way better. Keep out the viruses. Firewall server, which they got mad. I forgot all about it. They got mad that I put up the firewall because they actually, Lorena seemed to be paying off people from the outside to do fucked up shit on the inside. Does that make sense? So Lorena, just like when I was talking about the hub they're jacking in at Signity Services in the same building, spy on me, Lorena was having people come in from the outside doing all this fucked up shit and saying it was Kevin and all that.
Exit 22A. Right onto Blaine Street.
They're also doing things on my computer so they try to provoke me, get reactions. Same thing you see in my neighborhood and everywhere else. Provoke me, try to get reactions, say look what Kevin's doing to us. That's a big one since 5 years old, right? Okay. Big one since 5 years old.
Turn right onto Blaine Street, then turn right onto...
Okay, desktop support. Desktop support. I made a Windows... I'm guessing, yeah, starting with XP, I made a Windows image with all the apps on it.
Right onto West Olympic Boulevard.
With all the apps, and I compiled a... Let me think. I think it was a Windows VM. How did I do that? Was it an ISO or a VM? God, I'm rusty. It was a whatever. It was a backup. It was probably like an Acronis backup. So I did a main image with all the apps. Oh, that's right. I did a VM image of the workstation.
1,000 feet. Turn left onto Georgia Street.
Okay, I did a VM workstation with all the apps. I backed it up on Acronis, and every time something major happened on the desktop, I just went in 10 minutes and restored the...
Turn left onto Georgia Street.
I restored the workstation image because I had all the data centralized on servers. So if you wanted to grab your documents, it went to a shortcut to the NAS. The NAS was one of the servers. The network attached storage was I think it was a free NAS server. It changed over time. I think it started with Ubuntu, and then I upgraded it. Ubuntu with Samba shares, and then I upgraded that to a free NAS network attached storage server, so everyone on their desktops access the central data. So what that means is there's no actual data on your workstations. They're little clones with nothing on them. And so I remember there was one point someone was hacking in and they were turning off the network. In the network neighborhood, they were turning off the network connectors, and they were doing it strategically to different employees, I think trying to make it look like I was doing something to the employees. And then the employees were running around working with those people, you get it? So Lorena, with the employees, sort of ganging up on me, trying to get me to react, just like everyone else, right? Now, how do I know that? Because, example, They'd walk by me and whistle 100 times a day and snap their fingers as they walk behind me over and over and go like, yes, 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 hey, hey, yes, 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 the things that people are doing over worldwide, trying to get reactions. So they're all in it together, right? Everything's coming from every side, directed at me. Okay. So yeah, so let's say the network connector breaks. Instead of spending an hour or two trying to figure it out, grab it in a Cronus general image I made, boom, computer's back up in 10 minutes, and guess what? That pissed them off. That pissed them off big time. You don't want to know why? Because they wanted to bring me in and make me look incompetent, okay? And what happened was, they brought me in and I went above and beyond, and the way I built the virtual network was all modular. So let's say you do a SQL injection attack on a SQL server and take that down. Your mail server is still online. Your domain servers are still online. Pervasive is still online, except that he's missing the SQL connection.
Take the California 110 North ramp.
Your remote, your terminal server, I don't know if they call it that anymore. Before the terminal server in Citrix environments, they might have went more to a remote desktop connection. Online for the specific employees to come in from the outside in a controlled environment. Okay, so it's all modular. So Lorena's sending in her hackers.
Keep left. Follow signs for 3rd Street, 4th Street.
Shit, I don't remember one. So Lorena's sending in her hackers to sabotage the own network, right? And they can't take down the whole network because there's 13 different modular servers, something like that. Okay? So you take out the mail server, everything else is still online. You take out one of the 3 domain servers, you still got one left. You take out, I don't know, I don't remember the infrastructure too well, it's been so long. But, you get the idea. So, and then for a couple years they were flood attacking the entire firewall with like fucking 50,000 sessions per hour, just some fucking unheard of. And that had to have taken a lot of resources. And that was all linked straight to like Lorena and my father, okay? Like trying to figure out ways to get rid of me. Things like, okay, but Kevin, why don't you just pack your bags and walk away? Well, because it's worldwide. Well, Kevin suffers from psychological problems because he didn't walk away. Right? I remember that one. But it's worldwide. Every restaurant I go to, every coffee shop, every gym, every gas station, mass mental bludgeonings from stranger after stranger. And then I'm realizing that every job I ever worked in, these things were going on. Every state, my college professors. So where do you go? Where do you go? Where do you walk away? Do I go into the forest and learn how to hunt and gather and build a spear and start spearing wild buffalo? I mean, let's be fucking realistic here. You're going to go to the forest, you're going to last 7 fucking days, and you're going to starve and die. Okay? If you don't go crazy from the fucking isolation, correct? Okay. So, let's be realistic when I see these morons walk up to me and say, you should go out to the forest. They're like, dude, you should go fucking die, right? Okay, so like, right? Okay, so where are we here? So I just wanted to get that down, like when they're saying that I don't know how to work on cars, I don't know anything about computers. These are and I'm a drug dealer. The cops spent 15 years with these people trying to make me look like a drug dealer, okay? What's that about? And that all starts from Christina Stilinski in 96 or something in Arizona, who found out I smoked some weed with my friends in college, okay? It's like, well, because you smoked weed from your friends in college, you're a drug dealer, and we're going to work with Lorena Escobar to hunt you and kill you, and then you're a schizo who thinks that Lorena Escobar is part of Pablo Escobar. Okay, does this ever fucking stop? What is it about? It's got to be about something. Well, you're a monster. Okay, and like, what kind of monster? Like the one that holds doors open for people and says thank you? The one that smiles at people? One that hugs women, violates the 4-second hug rule? Because if you hug for 5 seconds or more, you're an obsessed lunatic? Right? What happens if you stick your dick in them? Okay. 110 third. Oh no, I want to go this way. Okay, right? What happens if the heart is so bad? What happens if you stick your dick in them? Then is it the Mike Huntley, I've given you enough rope to hang yourself thing? Okay, right? So you're down with all I support? Okay. So Fernanda Simi, I didn't instantly. Fernanda Simi latched on instantly, like right when Lorena Escobar hired me. Now Lorena Escobar hired me, obviously under the duress of my father, which they were running around playing this game like I was trying to take over the company. Like I just walked in. Hi, Dad. It's my company now. Oh, and then Debbie fucking Groveman. I forgot all about that one. Okay, so my dad had a friend, Debbie Groveman. I think that's what her name was. We'll call her Grover. No. My father had a girl named Debbie Groveman, which I think might have some sort of resemblance to like Kayla Cleavage or something like that, now that I think about it. Because they were doing these look-alike shit too. Like the Georgia girl actually looked like, I think there's a porn star named Georgia or something, redhead. Okay. Let's see. Oh shit. You can do it. Coming in.
California 110 North.
Okay.
2 miles.
So Debbie Groveman calls me up. Friend of my father. My father might even have dated her on and off or something like that. I'm not sure. And says, Kevin, I want you to help me fix my son's computer. Okay, sure. Come over, fix the computer. You know, just a cheesy home, something stupid. Pays me, and she says, Kevin, I want to talk to you. Kevin, I want to talk to you. You know, I don't like Lorena Escobar, and I don't feel that she's good for your father's company. I think that you should take over her job and take over the company. And I'm like, Debbie, I'm a computer IT guy. Even if I wanted to be like, you know, I can't remember the exact conversation, but even if I wanted to be a douchebag and try to get rid of Lorena Escobar, why? I'm an IT guy. I'm not a doctor. There's no future. There's no future in me trying to take over Golden State Sports Medical. It's a dead-end job to begin with. I'm doing my IT here. I'm working on my shit on the side to do something real. That I can establish a life. Blah, 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 blah. Okay, now. Time out. What's going on? Do you find that is a very peculiar situation? Peculiar situation where your father's friend is trying to set you up and manipulate you to try to take over the company where you're just trying to be an IT guy and fix computers. Yeah, with all the lies. Kevin suffers from obsession. Kevin can't stop. Kevin is, what was it? Something like I'm addicted to everything. I can't remember what some made-up drugstore psychology label. I can't remember what they were saying. First of all, if I did suffer from this imaginary disease that doesn't exist, like everything you do, you have to do to the extreme, or I don't remember what it was. Okay, there's no such thing as, by the way. Why would you tell me to take over the company unless you're trying to set me up or frame me, correct? Okay, so once again I passed the test, but what is said to the world? More importantly, who is connected? Who is friends with Debbie Woolman? My father. But my father doesn't want to admit to these situations that something strange is going on with all these fucking people that is completely fucking unheard of. Okay, so let's do the math. my father's trying to set me up. He's trying to push me in a direction that he can use against me. He said, look, Kevin's a bad guy. Look what he's trying to frame me. Okay, set me up. Okay, just one of the many hundreds of thousands of examples, especially across 45 years. Never stopping. So yet again, Kevin passes the test. It doesn't matter. Keep coming after him. Okay. Not just the Golden State Sport Medical. It's at every place. I'm 5 years old. Fernanda see me. She was towards the end. She was in contact with LAPD, and they got really nervous when my father said, "Do you have any type of? Do you have a method of knowing what Fernanda see me is doing?" Which was that lady is fucking nuts. I said, well, I can look at the firewall logs. Oh, I'm spying on us. Well, I'm not spying on you, but there is a logging method. Everything that goes in and out of the fucking servers. That's every business. Every fucking business has a firewall and it logs every IP and every website and everything else. It has deep packet inspections. It has intrusion detection for things like SQL injection attacks and 100 million other type of injection attacks. And if you don't know what an injection attack is, it's not you going out, it's people injecting in to exploit, like email servers, exploiting port 110 or port 25. They're trying to exploit the port with injections. And there's 65,550 ports to anyone's computer out there, by the way. Any of you that are unblocked, and you might have a NAT level firewall, not a firewall, but a router, like a Linksys router, that gives you an external IP and an internal IP for a minimal level of protection. But a firewall blocks ports, and it does packet inspection. Okay, so example, port 80 and port 443 are always open for web surfing. You can't shut those down, but you can sniff the packets to see if the packets themselves are legit. So that's the packet inspection. Okay, your SQL port 1433, I think it is. Right, the port's got to be open if you're doing cross SQL environments. Redundant SQL servers, load balancing or clustering.
California 110 North Arroyo Seco Parkway.
Right, load balancing or clustering. Your port 1433 is gonna be open. Okay, so you need deep packet inspection and intrusion detection and a way of monitoring the amount of sessions that are going on, and that's what a firewall is going to do. Now, they did not want that firewall there. Why?
Continue on California 110 North.
And they kept making up lies. Kevin's blocking me from working.
Continue on California 110 North for 6 miles.
Well, that's partially true. I blocked all the social network sites under orders. I went into the web filter, and I blocked the adult websites, and I blocked the social websites, and all those freaky categories I blocked. Because they're mad at me, like Tony Montiel was mad at me for blocking the porn sites. They're blocking me. They're stopping me from working. Well, that's weird because you're not working. And then they would stage these events where they can't work, and I'd prove that they can. Okay? What was the terminal server thing? The terminal server. So I gave them all access to a terminal server, which means that they could log in from home in a protected environment, and that was me being nice, and work from home. And they kept making up lies. If Kevin's blocking me, we can't work from home. So I bought a piece of software that tracked who logged in at what hours. I'm not allowed to talk about these things because I'm a bad guy. And after I put on the reporting software, hey, George Escobar's been in all night. Lorena Escobar logged in for an hour this morning. Elsie Sandoval's in for 5 hours. Val's in for an hour. Oh, and I emailed the reports out every month saying to my father, saying here's the hours that people are logged in. Well, guess what? All these employees that could not work, that said they couldn't work and they couldn't get in from home, which they normally didn't anyways, that argument stopped instantly, and the log showed, the initial log showed that they're lying. We can't work, none of us can work. Well, but here's the reports, you're in the system. And then after that, there was never a word again about it. Ever. Why? Because they're fucking child molesting, Jew-hating liars. Okay. And the majority of that group were Latin. Okay? They were Latin in my father's office. Estella, Lorena, George Escobar, Dominique, Fernanda Simi, Marlene, I think Georgia, whatever, there's a lot more. And what's the point of making? They're all fucking liars. They're all mobbing me, and they're hate and rage. They're going all the way down to 5 years old. And I'm just bending over backwards, just being a really good person, not a kiss ass, but a good person. And being professional, and they're not. Okay? So they have no excuse. And my father is pretty much telling them to do it. That's the freak. Okay, so I don't know how the world works, and he's lying to my face. Okay, so this is a broad overview. Anything? Oh! So then I built a SQL-based trouble ticket system. Okay, I'm sick of the lies. I'm sick of their fucking lies. That I'm doing this to them, and I'm doing that to them, so I go out and I built some simple .NET code for a trouble ticket system. And I say, okay, anyone that has a problem, submit on the intranet on this web page on the trouble ticket system. The issue you're having, I'll come and I'll fix it, and I'll note how many hours it took to fix the problem. What I did to fix it, how long it took to fix it. Now, all the little trivial problems, most of the time, disappeared. I can't get to this website, I can't do that. Or there are problems like, well, there's an SSL cert, you have to push ignore, push advanced, push the proceed anyways button on your web browser. Or, when they entered in the trouble ticket system, they would do 2 or 3 times. So there would be 2 or 3 entries of 2s and 3s of the same thing to try to piss me off. Okay? Now I would show this to Lorena Escobar or my father, because that is the appropriate hierarchy thing to do in a business, is to go to the right departments, to go look what's going on, and they would try to belittle me and bury me and make me look crazy, say, you know, nothing's happening, and okay. And when the trouble ticket went into play, in place, it minimized the lies. Does that make sense? Because now they couldn't just get together and make up their lies. Everything is being documented and recorded, but it still made them angrier and angrier because it's all based on Kevin needs to die. Okay. Now, you can link that with the people destroying my cars, you're a snitch, you're dead, you're a rat, you're dead. Even 5 years later, George Escobar recently coming out, running around, Kevin's still talking about everything, and why they're doing it in the first place. Okay? Why are they hunting me to exterminate me in the first place? Okay, so what else is on my Dominique, Shamrock Seva. Oh. What do I have here? Totally. Okay, so being threatened and blackmailed for simply... This wasn't just...
In a quarter mile, continue on to South Arroyo Parkway, West Historic Route 66 East. Signs for Rose Bowl, Huntington Library.
Okay, this wasn't just going on social network. If Kevin goes to Starbucks, or, example, I would go to Barclays Coffee, I'd leave Golden State Sports Medical, and on the way home, I'd want to chill out, and go to Barclays Coffee and chill out for 30 minutes or an hour, and then go home. Oh, here comes Brandon, a black employee working with Alita. Kevin's not allowed to go to coffee shops. If I go to Starbucks, here comes Shanna Bryan Seva working on me, following me to coffee shops, or collecting information with the coffee shops and trying to provoke me and shock me. You're not allowed to go to coffee shops. If I go to a bar, okay, hit happy hour, maybe I want to talk to some of the honeys, maybe I want to make friends with some new blokes, boom, you can't go to happy hour because there's alcohol. Or that's the excuse from someone with a cattle prod that gets their jolly shocking someone to death and killing them. You get it? Okay? Which links back to my father, Rhoda, and all that shit. Now, why was he doing it? Well, maybe he was doing it to say it was Kevin. I don't know. Okay.
Take the next left onto South Marengo Avenue. Okay.
So, we're going to do the Moronga. Okay. Garcia, where was I here? Office lunches. Disobeying everything, because everything in life is a crime. To shock you to death. World spying on my accounts, punishing me, shocks, I don't know. I think that was obvious. An entire planet's conspiring together to sort of shock me to death since 5 and go, you are a violent paranoid schizo, doesn't make much sense. Mike Huntley, I'm taking everything you say and disseminating it, twisting it out of context, disseminating it to the world, switching and changing from every person I've ever known. As you see my neighbors from Florida, as you see Skylar, as you see random person after person on the internet, making up a lame excuse, it's your fault because trying to justify, trying to make the kill operation since I was 5 look justified, getting larger and larger kill groups. Literals, yeah, Mike Huntley, literals, the whole literal schizo idea of reference tactic, try to make Kevin look like a schizo, try to make Kevin look like he conforms to media, try to Kevin look like he thinks he's in a movie, Psychos. We're going to make him a 5th member of the Bee Gees, and then showing me horror movies. Comments about Jeff Allen after showing me Texas Chainsaw Massacre, Jay Allen's mother. Okay, so these things,
continue on.
They're not jokes, they're not pranks because it's done over and over. Tom Farley, 8 years old or so. Kevin saw an alien in my bathroom. Kevin's crazy. Kevin needs to be put in a mental institution. Okay? Okay, so we're going to ask about George Escobar, Dominique, Simi, Shanna Bryan Seva, link to these recent car Russian groups and the recent car damaging. Linking to Val Moroza, the University of Colorado, Russian exchange student, wants to take me to strip clubs. Number 3. Friends of Shelley's. So always is a friend of Shelley Humphrey trying to silence me about Shelley going ballistic on me with all my father's girlfriends, and linking to cover-ups of Jason fucking with Alexandra. Jason and friends fucking with Alexandra, trying to reel me into it. Me saying, no, I'm not going to take part. It's Kevin. And then 100,000 other things I can't imagine were said, correct? Because nothing's directly said. So there's a rap sheet worldwide of 100,000 things that are just complete fiction. I'm sure I've done everything known to man, and I'm not allowed to know. So I friend Alexandra, that was a big one that Jason and friends didn't like Alexandra. That was around when they were popping the waterbed and saying it was me on Chase Street. Chase or be Chase, that whole thing. Corey Bixby, this, that. You look my direction. My life's in danger. I'm going to kill you. weird shit like that. They're mad at me for buying a weight bench at 14 or 16 and reading bodybuilding books and lifting weights and running and jogging. That's all different. Working with Brandy Brandt, Nikki Sixx, and things I couldn't even conceive were going on, and they were mad at me for reading Arnold Schwarzenegger weightlifting books and trying to apply it that I'm doing to people. I'm doing things to people like Arnold Schwarzenegger would. I mean, things like that. Just unfucking fallible. And that's really all I have written down here. Okay, so anyone, class, anyone want to ask me any fucking questions? I mean, anyone here want me to talk about something with a direct fucking question? Because when I say just ask, you don't need to follow me around hinting that I did this or that and trying to force me into coerced false confessions, because what I'm talking about now, I can talk about my entire life. Oh, I think this battery's about to die. And there's a reason why everyone refuses to have a direct conversation. Because what I just told you here, whether it be about Alexandra, whether it be about what my father was doing to Rhoda in a way of saying Kevin's crazy and he did it to Rhoda, or whatever he's doing, Kelly Hatch with the movie The Bad Seed and the murdering child Rhoda, sent after me, all the other things, throw down. You guys are so sure with your worldwide murder Kevin operations that I'm such a bad guy that you won't ask one specific question about anything unless it's something that you can try to set me up and get a reaction, correct?
Turn right onto East Holland Street.
But if you want to ask me a fucking question based on my actual life of the matters from the beginning of how this started, okay, from the beginning, how this started at 5 years old, and start asking about the important questions that matter, not trying to set me up, not trying to test me 100 billion times. Dude, I passed every fucking test on a man. I passed the test $100,000. If anyone says, well, your brother told me, I passed that fucking test 100 billion times over, okay? There is no, I don't believe you. I passed it 100 billion fucking times over. I gave at the office 100 billion times over. I gave to the planet Earth 100 fucking billion times over. Okay? I've already passed that test 100 billion times over, and they keep fucking coming after me, correct? Okay. So if I've showed for 49, 50 years I'm a really good person, and they keep trying to prove me wrong, why are they doing it? Because they don't want the truth coming out, correct? It's a cover-up. I'm going to keep... It's like I said 20 years ago. If I go out to take a walk and you throw handfuls of rocks under my feet every hour, every 10 minutes, and you say, Kevin, if you step on a rock, you're a bad person, I'm going to say to you, I can't not step on a rock. You're throwing fucking handfuls of rocks under my feet every fucking minute, right? Okay? And I think it's getting dark here. I don't know if this... Okay? So how can you ask me not to step on rocks if you're throwing rocks? And they go, well, you stepped on a rock, you're a bad person. Okay? Well, what you're really saying is, you know I'm a good person, you just want me dead, right? Okay, you understand? It doesn't matter. Like, I want you to live in a Nazi state where I have a cattle prod on you, and I keep fucking zapping you every 5 minutes going, I don't trust you. Okay, well, it doesn't matter if you don't trust me, if you don't like me, if you don't trust me, if you hate me, if you think I'm a monster, then stay the fuck away. Right? And I want to surround myself with good, decent fucking people, not psychotic murderers that go, I'm going to kill that guy because I don't fucking trust him. Okay, but to say you're gonna spew my name to a planet and poison the well instantly at 5 years old so I don't have a chance, so I have to spend my life fighting a fucking planet off that refuses to be honest about the situation. Let me rephrase that. Refuses to be honest about the situation. Why? Because you want to be a jailer, you want to be a slave owner, you want to be an Adolf Hitler. And I don't let jailers in my life. I learned, okay? I had jailers in my life. I had all my friends. Tom Hoke, Brian Weaver, Tom Varley, Paul Humphrey, Mike Huntley, Val Morozov, Eric Christensen, Sherry Christensen, Josh Godfrey, that was the name, Josh Godfrey. Well, all their religious shit. Josh Godfrey, Mike Wexler, Jason Baum. Those are actually my brother's friends sent after me. Those two. Who else? I've had a lot of friends. They were my frenemies. Dave Air, Wild Air, Dave Air. I never really go. Whatever. I'm not going into that. A lot of them I can't remember. The ones from Colorado or the superficial ones. Tyler the Clown from Southern Oregon State College that wanted to go in up to like Barnum and Bailey. Wanted to try to win some clown thing. I can't remember most of them, but I didn't realize they're all involved. Example, there was a girl in college. Southern Oregon State College, the dorms, and there's an Asian girl named Sherry, and Tyler the Clown. She liked this one dude. I can't remember the guy's name. I can't remember. She liked this one guy, and they were having sex. And Tyler the Clown grabs a ghetto blaster and he puts it up to the door to sort of distract them. And now I'm looking at all these things that are done to my life, and I'm realizing that they're taking these incidences and saying it was Kevin. You see what I'm saying? Okay. So for these people, I think it was she who shall not be named. Well, people were messaging me on the internet, posing as models and porn stars, were messaging me, provoking me. Kevin, you don't get along with people. I get along with fucking everyone great. Anyone that isn't a psychotic, murdering freak trying to set me up, throw rocks at the back of my head, whatever, I get along fucking great. Anyone that is involved in schizophrenia, terror operations, I get along fucking great. Okay? It is not I. I get along fucking great with everyone. Okay? So to say I'm a loner with no friends, I had friends. But they were told to do shit. Oh, Steve McPike. And you saw how that turned out with Tim Thompson. Steve McPike. What were all my pool player friends? I can't remember. What was that squeaky guy's name? I have some photos from my photography class. That guy was a character. What was his name? I don't remember. I had tons of friends. Tons. But they weren't my friends because they were contacted and told, okay, you get it? Chad Bowers in Colorado. Chad Bowers, the IT guy, the photography IT guy. With the dig a ditch thing with Naughty Carey. Okay? So to say that like I'm in isolation and a loner and I don't want to go on the freeway. Isolation, loner, no friends, crazy, don't get along. That's absurd for anyone. I got along great. I didn't even know up until 29. I was in shock. I'm sitting in a fucking office. Mike Huntley, you're a fucking dead man. I gave you enough rope to hang yourself. I'm just going, okay, and let's talk about the superficial shit. All the gyms, all the strip clubs, strip clubs, whether it be malls, whether it be stores, whether it be gas stations, the people that I'm not friends with, but you associate, baristas. I was as nice, hostesses in restaurants, waitresses, as nice as fucking can be. Maybe a little shy, maybe a little non-aggressive, maybe a little shy. I will admit to that. I will admit to being a little fucking shy and not a go-getter when it came to the honeys. I will fucking admit to that. Okay? But did I do anything to these fucking psychos? No. Okay? There's nothing I've done to anyone. Does it have to do with childhood trauma? No. Absolutely not. And just to make a joke, you can ask Shy Love about that because she doesn't usually do the provoking comments. And I hardly doubt she's shy at all. But just to throw a little jokey, humorous. No, I don't think you're my friend. However, you were one of the few that were nice at Dalton, okay? And I remember that you were sitting by Tia Cyrus, which has spent a good 15 years in anger and rage. Kevin needs to fucking die. So I find that sort of ironic and funny. But Yeah, so maybe a little shy, maybe a little hard to break the ice with. Am I harassing, childhood trauma, this, that, need to be put in a mental... Okay, you're going to the fucking extreme here. Okay, and for these people to be like, you didn't talk to me, I have to kill you. Or you didn't date me, I have to kill you. Like the gay guy sat in my house. He didn't ask me out, so I have to hunt him and kill him with worldwide gay people and Jennifer Pilchick Perelman. Now, I can go through several incidences with Jennifer in Florida after the gay guy didn't get his way. Okay? And the reason I'm saying that is because why would Jennifer Pilchick Perelman have any knowledge living in Indiana or Florida of a gay guy in University of Colorado coming in my house, not getting his way, and hunting me to kill me with NSA, FBI, and everyone? Okay, you get it? You understand? Jennifer Pilchick Perelman should not have any knowledge of this, where they instantly had Noah Schiller. Hey, well, this guy ran you out of the house after the gay guy. This whole different story I talked about with Brittany Henderson. This guy working with the government probably ran you out of your house, and there's Noah Schiller waiting for you, friend of the family, to try to cover it up somehow and give out disinformation. Okay, and set me up with more ladies, right? Trying to, hey, I want you to meet so and so. I'm going to try to set them up. Okay, same thing over and over. You're letting, maybe not aggressive, but you're letting women in your life, and they're like provoking you, trying to get you angry at them. And if there's any type of reaction, Kevin's crazy and a woman hater. Okay, so what does one thing have to do with the other? Well, you're a little shy, so you hate women, and we have to lock in a mental institution with Jason's friends or friends of the family, or okay. What does one thing have to do with the other? Why does the mental institution keep coming into play? Or why every time I open up to a girl or a person, we're trying to set you up and provoke you and get reactions and say you're crazy? Every fucking time. And it gets worse, it gets really bad at 29 when they realize I'm starting to figure out what they're doing. God, I've dodged an awful lot of fucking bullets. These women keep going ballistic on me for no reason. What is going on? And then you start linking it down to Kevin's Burgers and Jason making his combustion burgers, and then hinting that you're trying to get women to explode in anger, and you're just going, Jesus Christ, the more I go down the fucking rabbit hole, I'm a dead man since 5 years old. What the fuck's going on? Okay, so what does that have to do with mental illness? Look, Kevin, you're shy. Let's go have some fun and fucking let's open you up and God, that sounds kind of like Demented, right? Let's open you up. Now I'm thinking about a horror movie. No, just joking. So, let's hang out with our buddies and we'll have some fun, and we'll open up and you'll go overcome your little teensy-tiny issue, and then deal. Why does it have to be you need to be in a mental institution? And by the way, I just happen to get the family inheritance too. Right? I'm helping you. I'm helping you force you into a mental institution by paying off Sean Dincy to eradicate you. And by the way, I just happen to get the family inheritance too. Or the life insurance policy, right? Okay? Yeah. You think this is about fucking health? It's not. Okay? These people are doing this because either financial gain or trying to protect people they know that are involved in a crime or whatever, but it's not being done because Kevin's crazy. Kevin gets along with everyone. And I've proven that. I could, if I wasn't put in isolation, I could hire a private investigator right now if he wouldn't lie to me, which I have in the past, and they all try to cover it up once they got proof. Flipping out and like, what do we do? He proves it. What do we do? I gotta hire a private investigator for an hour with a cheese dick video camera for $60, and I could prove it to him. I could, if people weren't told to try to silence me worldwide, I could take that guy over there. I say, come with me, sit over there. I'm gonna walk into that store, hold this camera, or visually observe it. This is what's going to happen, okay? I'm going to tell you, like I've done with private investigators, I'm going to tell you what's going to happen, I have done investigators, and they flipped out when they got video going, you can't have it. Showing they're involved. Oh, that's right! With Tim Thompson. Tim Thompson was linked to private investigator groups, and when we were in the office, he was building private investigator portals with all his friends. I forgot all about that. We're back to Tim Thompson, Well Hot Body International, building rings, private investigator rings, most likely with a double reasoning, one to make money and one to hunt me and fucking kill me, and not have me to have a way to tell anyone, because who are you going to go? You can go to a private investigator and say, look, I'm being gang stalked by groups of people, and I'm not going to help you. I'm just going to take your money and make you look crazy. And I have hundreds of stories like that. Okay, I have these, and it's interesting to call one up, and it keeps the information is disseminated from the first phone call, and they keep upping the price. Yeah, I just need a private investigator to go out with me for an hour. Well, that's going to be $6,000. You know, private investigators are expensive, and you're like, you're trying to be polite, and you don't really want to say it. Like, what are you talking about? A dirtbag fucking private investigator makes $4,000 a day? Or, dude, private investigators are like the shadiest motherfuckers. They're like the dudes that fucking sweep up the fucking jizz at a peep show. Okay, they're not like fucking $4,000 a day unless they work for some huge firm. And to find a fucking PI is gonna be like, yeah, I'll hang out fucking with a camera with you for an hour. It should be like $60 or $100, dude. Okay, but they're playing the same. Like, well, that's how much it is for private with the disinformation, right? It's $10,000 a day for private. Okay, why is that happening? And why, when I make the first phone call, the first one, do they all know I called them? And they're all working the same, based on the first call and the second call, and they're all sharing the information, because the kill systems, the internet government kill systems, to stop me from getting help, so I'm just hunted and killed and died. Okay, but more importantly, Tim Thompson, the 429, in my office, working for Hot Body International, and building a ring, a system, a portal for private investigators. But not only was he building a portal for all private investigators, he's building a portal to turn all the private investigators against me, to hunt me and kill me with no recourse for anyone to help me. Okay, forgot all about that one. So that was probably around 27 during the Grand Hogar, Tim Thompson Grand Hogar possible job days and whatever. Okay, possible clients. Okay, so I'm gonna scratch my eyebrow. Don't freak out. Don't whistle at me. Okay, because negative reinforcement is how you cure problems, right? Every time someone goes like this, you punch them in the back of the head. Okay, so and so they have to kill you, and then they're a murderer, right? Okay, so I'm kind of tired of talking. I got out what I put down. I wish I had someone to ask me the questions here of their insecurities, because I would gladly fucking expose it. But guess what? They're not going to. Why? Because they don't want the fucking truth coming out, and that is all anyone needs to know. If they don't want the truth coming out, they're covering up something. If they're covering up something that horrible, what is it? Well, I believe it to be flag and kill operations at 5 years old. Okay? Kill this person. Do it in a method with no loose ends. I deem them Jennifer Pilcher Perelman. We need to deem Kevin as crazy. Ron Perelman. We need to deem Kevin as a rabid dog or something, right? Okay, 5 years old. I'm going to put my dog down. Kevin farted wrong. I'm going to put my dog down. Kevin's growing up. Kevin's getting reeled into these situations he's trying to avoid. We're trying to collect the reactions. We don't care about the punching in the head. You just keep spraying blood on us. We got to kill you for being a blood sprayer, or the bleeding to death disease every time we slice on you with a knife, correct? You don't talk or we kill you. Never-ending chains of events starting at 5 years old where no one thinks killing Kevin is wrong, hence a government kill operation or eradication. I'm going to put my rabid 5-year-old dog down. Kevin's still breathing. Kevin knows too much. Links to government. Well, I cannot tell you what specific links. I can tell you I was born on Merced Castle Creek Air Force Base. Moved to Woodland Hills off Tiara Street around 4 or 5 years old. Our dog Oppo bit Jason in the face. Oppo, not me, Oppo. My dad thinks I'm Oppo, I guess. And probably those government links, I can't tell you. My father's secondary psychology degree and his demented fucking shit. Who knows what the guy's past background is as younger years. And, without proof, that's my yes. Because what is so bad that a planet, to this day, is trying to conceal? Okay? And eradicate me for the knowledge in my brain. Okay. Everyone's playing stupid. That's obvious. I can walk up to anyone. I don't know you, Kevin. What's going on? Yeah, bullshit. Bullshit. Okay? And that's an insult. And so anyone that wants to be in my life and they can't have an honest fucking... That relationship is destroyed. I don't know you, but you better give me a confession of what you did or whatever. That shit. You do know me. The world knows me. The planet knows me. So that's a way of stopping someone from having social interactions, correct? That's a way of isolating and destroying and torturing and migrating and forcing into a mental institution, correct? You see what I'm saying? It's a way of making someone look crazy and forcing them into the agenda, into the cage, okay? By isolating them and making them look crazy. Trying to make them look crazy. Whatever. Okay, so all these people are responsible, okay? So if I walk up to that stranger there and he goes, I don't know who you are. I don't know who you are, man. Well, what he's saying is he does know who I am, but he's trying to make me look crazy on a government kill agenda or eradication agenda to kill a 5-year-old, and that's it. Okay? So we can talk about Jason and how he's involved, and we talk about Jason and friends, and we talk about how this links into police divisions and NSA and FBI, but the real question you gotta be asking is, what the fuck is really going on that that guy right there won't answer the stupid fucking question how he knows me? Okay? How does that guy right there know me? There is no guy right there, but I'm using an example. I use that old couple over there. How do they know me, right? Isn't that? Well, they're not going to answer the question. Because it's a way of trying to make someone look like a violent paranoid schizo. Okay. All of you can answer the real questions. Jason says I'm crazy doesn't explain. Jason says I'm crazy doesn't explain why there's a worldwide murder operation to exterminate me. It doesn't explain it. Okay? I've seen 100 million fucking conversations with like guys, oh, I dated that girl, she's crazy. She's not being hunted by the government and every person on the planet. Okay? I've seen a billion times worse conversations. I've seen people come out of jail for crimes. They're not being fucking hunted by worldwide groups. With systematic terror, torture, and kill tactics. Or eradication tactics. Okay? These people here walking the street. I could, if they were going to be honest, I could walk up and say, I'm Kevin Perelman, how do you know me? Well, you were put on a mental illness watch list. We were told you did all these things. Correct? Suable, direct, suable proof of a crime, of a government crime against a human being, just like George Floyd. Okay? And I'm getting tired. And I'm gonna eat some fries. I'm gonna eat some McDonald's fries that are now cold. And then figure out what to do. Okay. So just an informational update linking to the social dynamics, because when people are running around saying I'm different, I'm crazy, I'm different, I don't get along with people, I get along with everyone. Provided they're rational, sane human beings. Okay, rational, sane. And what I mean by that is, I don't get along with control freaks. I don't get along with psychotic murderers. I don't get along with sociopaths. I don't get along with narcissists. I don't get along with vain people that think everything's about them. Same with narcissists. Everything's about them. See, this shirt is about you, right? No, it's about me going out and buying a cool shirt. How's billion-dollar websites? Well, you have billion-dollar websites to meet women. No, I'm building websites to make fucking money like Hugh Hefner. I'm building Erotic Ranch in database, automating the process to do lots of girls in a high-speed process through a database system like OnlyFans, and it was a lot more complex than OnlyFans. That's kid shit compared to what I was building, okay? But it's about you, right? It's about Kevin walked up and asked me to do a website, so he's in love with me, and he needs to die. Well, Kevin just asked you to build a website, and Kevin asked you to build a website. Kevin asked you to build a website, and Kevin was already building websites. I'm not going to say I was Vivid, Wicked, Elegant Angel, Razors. And by the way, Razors, your shit's crap. Okay, your shit's crap. It's not even like the good classic days. Okay, your shit's crap. It's mass-produced, little clippy shit that's repetitive, and there's no art to it. There's no art. And if you want to talk about good shit, I mean, Wicked and Vivid, and at least there was a fucking storyline. Not that anyone ever watched the fucking storyline, but at least there was a fucking storyline, and there was artistic value to the old classic shit. Okay, Jason? But, not that I even give a shit. I don't. I couldn't give a fuck what they do or anyone else. But my point is that now, whatever. You take my photography. I'm just going to say this. Now, my photography, it's not smut, okay? It's not smut. It's actual art with thought behind it. Like, if you go into an adult photo shoot with the models, click, 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 click. Okay, spat at him, kiss him, click, click, click. Okay, whatever. What does he fucking do? You take my fucking art? You take my art? Dude, I'm going to spend 500, whatever, 100, 500, 1,000 hours, and I'm going to do a fucking whole scene, man. And that fucking scene's going to have dragons and fucking fire and a nude girl. Kind of like the movie Heavy Metal box cover or something. You know, it's going to have fucking brimstone and fucking a girl flying on a fucking dragon. And dude, there is intricate detail, okay? I have to fucking model and sculpt the dragon. I have to texture the dragon. I have to do the background scenes. I have to do all the props. That could be a 1,000-hour fucking job. And if you want me, and I gotta do the photo shoot too, right? So we gotta do the photo shoot, which today is pretty easy with digital. It's not like the film days, but still, it still takes talent. I gotta do the photo shoot. I gotta have the girl do the right poses. I gotta get the shadows right. I gotta model the CG background sets. I gotta do the timing matching between the composite, the girl, the person, and the background. I gotta, if there's, there could be all sorts of, the sky's the limit on things that you can do. It's up to your imagination what you want to do. I could do other aspects of reality into photo shoots, incorporate it, whether they're buildings as props, and, okay. So some girl spreading her legs, doing 100 little click, 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 click. I laugh at that shit, okay? I laugh. Because my shit, now if my shit is a different category, okay? It's a different category, and it's a different arena. But what I'm saying is, if these people are going to do their pissing contest bullshit, dude, there's no comparison, okay? It's my style, because I was a big, style, or we're going to weird, like, dramatized word style or whatever. If my style of artwork First of all, my style of artwork doesn't, as far as the adult industry, is not adult style, okay? So if you want to take a porn star and put them in my style, it's like apples and oranges, because the porn star is just going to want to make a quick buck. The girl that wants to be in my photos is more like a girl that wants to be in Playboy, that wants to be known forever. Like on that pedestal, you know. She doesn't want to be known as a smut peddler. She wants to be known as an actual image, like Glamour or Vogue, but totally gonna stop because it's artistic. It's fantasy scenes, right? It's like, okay, now everyone has their own thing, so who fucking cares? But the point I'm making, but that's not what we're talking about. We're not talking about everyone has their own thing. Everyone does what they want to do, and that's all great. That's not what we're talking about. We're talking about the argument that Kevin's a fraud and Kevin's just trying to meet women. That was one of their bullshit cover-ups, to knock me out of the industry. Every industry. And if it's not about that industry, it's the car industry. It's the car hobby, okay? Well, what does cars have to do with women? Other than we use analogies a lot of times about, oh, she has curves like a car. She's built like a Maserati. Whatever. But, fine. What do women have to do with pool playing? What do women have to do with coffee shops? Nothing. What do black girls have to do with coffee? Nothing. Okay. So why is it going on? Okay, but the point I was making is, which I don't even give a shit anymore, because I don't even have the fucking, I don't care. It's a lot of work. I don't care. I don't want to work. I don't want to work. I'm too tired. I spent 50 years fighting off a planetary murder operation. Okay, so that didn't come out right. It's not that I don't want to work. I want to do things that are not Einstein level fucking. Okay, so I want to rack my brain on this. Okay, so okay, so the manipulation, and then I was on my last video. None of these people want to get back. Okay, that was the biggest thing. That they all want to fucking take everything from me, but they don't want to get back. So if I'm going to do a fucking 1,000-hour single photo quintessence, right? Like the movie, what was that movie? Quintessence image for someone. Well, if I were to charge you, I would probably charge you fucking $100,000. So there's got to be a payback somewhere here, okay? Whether I'm linked into contracts with studios or... You got to get back here, right? You got to get back. Okay? So if someone's sitting there trying to mentally batter me into do a photo shoot for them and reverse psychology me, well, you're pathetic because you didn't come here and ask me to do a photo shoot. Now that it's too fucking late, now that you destroyed everything for 45 fucking years, won't admit to it, what do I get out of it? Okay? Wow, you're a pretty girl and you're in front of my fucking... Look, you're a pretty girl and you're in front of my green screen for an hour, correct? Okay, but if I'm going to invest the fucking 1,000 hours on the fucking quintessence of you... How do I make money? How do I get promoted? How does my reputation get promoted? Correct? Well, I don't know you. I don't know you. Kiss my ass. I'm going to mentally batter you into what we want. I'm not going to admit this is going on. I'm not going to admit I know you. I'm not going to admit I know about your studio photography and all your prior work. But I want you to do something for me because everyone wants something, correct? People don't try to get you places because they don't want anything from you. They want something from you. Okay? If all these girls wanted to get me to the X3 convention after crucifying me for 45 years, what is it they want? Well, but they won't talk to me to my face. They know me, they won't. You're Kevin Perelman. I saw your photography. It's fucking awesome. I want to do. Not even that level of respect. You're Kevin Perelman. I want you to do a photo shoot with me, and I know these people, and they think that you can make them money, and you can make money. No, nothing. Kevin, kiss my ass. I'm going to punch you in the back of the head until you come over here, beg for me, to do a photo shoot or something. I'm just sort of guesstimating and coming up with theoreticals. Everyone wants something. I want you to come here because I hate your guts and I want to CARIE carry you, make you look like a fool. I want you to do a photo shoot, make it look like you're my dog. I don't fucking know, right? Like use you and abuse you, okay? But everyone wants something, okay? If I walk into Mattress City right here, what do they want? They want me to buy a mattress, they want to make money, okay? That guy walking down the street there, talking to that girl, what does he want? Well, he wants to kiss her, he wants to get to know her, he wants to have sex with her. Maybe he wants a family and kids, maybe he doesn't, maybe he wants to just have some fun, but he wants something, right? Okay, what does he want? What does he want from that girl? What does that girl want from the guy? The bus driver here, what does he want? Well, he wants to go out and do his job, make money, and put food on the table, right? What does that serial killer there want? Well, he wants someone to kill. Okay, so everyone wants something, right? What does McDonald's want? Create a good product. Everyone to know they have a good product and make shitloads of money and have a big house and a big car and not have someone steal their name that sleeps on in, and that's a whole different story, right? Okay. Okay, so everyone wants something, and if people can't be honest about what they want, and the situation starts to look all freaky and sketchy, then people have to start being direct, correct? Okay? So I'm sitting there, and year after year, women want me to go to adult conventions, hint, 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 idea of reference, hint, hint, and then weird, freaky things always happen. What is it they want? They want to get me there to say, you're not allowed here? I mean, I don't know, right? But that would be weird if strangers just keep coming in your life that don't know you, saying, I don't want you here, there. I don't want you at coffee shops. I don't want you at pools. I don't want you at restaurants. I don't want you at colleges. I don't want you in high schools. I don't want you in middle schools. I don't want you at gyms. I don't want you dating women. And I don't want you breathing. Okay. Everyone wants something. And I've never heard of someone wanting someone else to have a healthy life by forcing them into a mental institution. That's the stupidest fucking thing I've ever heard. That's like a self-fulfilling prophecy. It's stupidity. Okay. No, wait. I guess it's not a self-fulfilling prophecy because that's someone else doing something to you. A self-fulfilling prophecy would be more like, I think Kevin's crazy. So I'm following him around from place to place, trying to get dirt on him, and I'm reinforcing my delusions. And that's a self-fulfilling prophecy, right? Because and then she's doing whatever it takes to execute you, because she's proven to herself, based on her obsession, that you're crazy, like my brother. But everything she's putting together is just delusional. She thinks she knows you based on things she's trying to collect, but she doesn't really know you because she's not basing her interactions on a one-to-one. I think Kevin would have shitty sex with me. But how do you know? Because you were spying on this other girl with Kevin? What about your dynamics with Kevin? If I go on a date with that girl and I sneeze or I yawn and a worldwide campaign says Kevin's abusive to women and Kevin hates women, and you're getting that third-party information or hearsay that shouldn't be happening, you could go out on a date with me as a completely different person and go, that guy's really fucking fun and great, he's fucking hysterical, right? Or that also applies to jobs. I could walk into a job and Kevin's an auto fraudster, and I get a job at maybe some hot rod shop or something, the shit I love, and they're like, God, you know, Kevin's fucking pulling up computer designs he's doing, and he's CADing up 3D specs for intake manifolds and better flow systems, and whether it be forced induction systems based on high horsepower or forced induction systems that could look just really cool, right? Because some categories people want horsepower, and some categories people want something really fucking wicked looking that doesn't necessarily have as much horsepower, right? Okay, and Kevin's catting up original aluminum CNC fucking milled out, original non-Edelbrock, non-Wien, his own fucking CNC milled fucking intake manifolds, and okay? But if George Escobar's running around going, Kevin's a fraud, and Kevin hates women, and don't hire him, okay? He's stopping me from making money. It's called defamation, slander, libel, and civilly suable, except in this case, because they have worldwide groups never ending since 5 years old, with premeditation. The premeditation is to hurt, harm, maim, kill, eradicate, force into mental institutions, and that is not a civil crime. That is a criminal attempted murder, ongoing murder operation, accessories to attempted murder to execute with premeditated thought. And if you're going to look in the law books under what murder is, there's no rule that says you have to touch or not touch someone. The rule is premeditation and execution. Okay? Does that make sense? So some girl running around saying, I'm going to get that guy to commit suicide, and groups of people walk by and whistle at him for 50 years, and then he kills himself. That is within the guidelines of murder. Okay? In a law book. Okay? No one was ever touched. You put poison in someone's drink, you kill them, you didn't touch them. Okay? So, the only thing on a law book about touching is assault and battery. Okay? Battery. You have to physically touch to batter. Okay? And that's not even true. You could use an object, and the object would be an extension to you. Okay? So if Jason Perelman's going after Greg Wall the crowbar like he did, Jason's not touching Greg, but the object is an extension. Okay, and we're talking about extreme cases. Okay, so you can't apply that to stupid shit. We're talking extreme cases. Okay, because the argument obviously has to be within the context of the argument. Okay, so. Example, if I throw a feather at you, and the feather hits you, did I batter you? Well, I mean, right? Think about it. There's a huge gray area on that one, because it's like, well, how could the feather hurt you? Okay? So, things have to be within reason, right? Now, I think, was it Dempsey or, no, it was Officer Jensen with Dempsey that tried that one on me. Years ago at my brother's, who was huge in the stalking, and by the way, my brother's restaurant, which is out of business, which is good, they don't deserve to make money, was right by my father's old house where a lot of these things were going down with Jason and all the shit. So, and pinning them on me, and there's a lot of things I probably don't know about. But one of these fraudulent, now they, ironically, Jensen and Dempsey managed to bury all paperwork for that 2013 case of things that were like, Kevin assaulted a waitress or an employee by throwing a card at them, which isn't true. And there were about 5 other counts just like that you'd be like, are these fucking white supremacists murdering officers on fucking acid or something? Or are they... Okay, now that was Officer Jensen and Dempsey. Dempsey when he was in training. And Dempsey has been federally sued. I don't know what happened to Jensen. I think Jensen was actually working with Louise Jensen, I think, down in like fucking Britain or whatever. And that's where things get really sketch, right? And so they bury the paperwork. You can't order those reports. They're sealed. They're actually sealed. Now, why are they sealed? Well, they're sealed because if you look at the paperwork, you're going to see that the cops are corrupt. Okay? And they're going to see they link back to my brother and Jennifer Pilchick. Okay? That's what you're going to see. Okay? And it was a misdemeanor. So why is it sealed? Okay? So the courts want to bury all evidence, all paper trail of what they're doing. Okay, so how did I get to this topic? That was a long time ago, but it's still documented. And the lawyers involved don't want me talking either. That's where it gets even freakier. Okay, how did I get to this topic? Extension, murder. Okay, so you don't have to be a fucking fucking brain surgeon to fucking understand that if 100,000 to 1 million people per day are doing things like walking by and whistling at me until I fucking have 100,000 nervous breakdowns and die or get forced into a cage, that is the end-all be-all of crimes. I mean, you have to be the stupidest motherfucker not to understand that. Now, that lies the problem of nobody wanting to talk, right? Because we got all our murdering buddies' backs, and that's the way the world works. Normally not. That's what makes this the largest crime in the history of humanity ever against one person. Way bigger when Adolf Hitler did the Jews. It's just in a different, unheard of reverse method because it's so strange and out there. So while I have to spend all day fighting off a planet of people for no reason to 5, finding out at 29, instead of everyone saying it's wrong, they say, well, Kevin has a problem associating with people. Right? Well, not until sitting in a fucking office watching a stripper Bentley running around saying you'll get yours and watching a planet with Mike Huntley saying I'm going to kill you, with the government dropping papers on my desk how to make people mentally ill and kill me and 100 other direct threats. Watching a planet hunt me to kill me, which that was 21 years ago, minute by minute. And realizing it's been going on non-stop since 5 years old, and me really good at dodging bullets, if you understand what I'm saying. I meet a girl, I go on a date, my intuition is fucking pinpoint. Run away! They get mad. Okay? This girl's fucking nuts. Walk away. They get mad. Why am I not allowed to walk away? Well, because you don't associate with women. You think that women are stalking you and bullshit. Bullshit. Skylar, listen. If Jen Hess wasn't stalking me, worldwide groups wouldn't be trying to hunt me and kill me from Jen Hess. That's how I figured it out. Because worldwide groups were linked to Jen Hess. I didn't even know at the time. I knew something was very wrong. I knew that girl was something was wrong while she's pretending to be a schizo, working Jesse Jane weird tactics and things, kind of like Skylar. As things progressively get worse and worse. But after you walk away, they go crazy, they go cray-cray, and fucking, he can't fucking talk or we kill him. And if people are running around saying that guy walked away, he can't talk or we kill him, there's a reason that's happening, and it ain't I. Right? It ain't fucking me. It's, they have something to hide, okay? If I walked away, I walked away from Golden State Sports Medical, or my father fired me for not, my father broke when I said I wouldn't go out to dinner with him. Ironically, I think it was my birthday, and I had several conversations that I'm not going to go out to dinner with you if you sit in a fucking restaurant and pretend this shit ain't going on, trying to make me look crazy. And he didn't think my breathing was important, so I said, fine. And then he fired me. Fine, you can't take me out. You're not going to endanger me. And then he fired me and he tried to, I can't remember specifically, there were several events he tried to frame on me with Fernanda seeing me, with my servers. He actually tried to figure out how to take my servers. Things like that. I had my own, by the way, I had my own servers because I trusted my family. I had my own servers by the Golden State servers, and he tried to figure out how to sort of take my servers and think, okay, right? Try to intimidate me out of my walking out with my servers. And also other violating things, like they had another network IT guy that was paid off to sort of snoop everything, especially on my property, but everything, which is sort of maybe it's in their facility, so technically, but I'm not going there. They had a IT guy sort of snooping all my shit, and I guess that's probably legal, but in a very unethical method to sort of try to intimidate. Does that make sense? Like, instead of working with me, we're going to get all the passwords, and oh, that's right, remember the time they were stalking me so much and getting the passwords, and with George Escobar. Why would George Escobar be getting the administrator passwords? And so I started changing my passwords to things like stalks and things like that. Okay? Because I knew they were getting the passwords, so I changed the passwords to like stalk. Okay, so like stalk or narcissist or okay, to sort of piss them off. But how dare I? Because I'm not allowed to say anything or defend myself. Okay. Who cares about that? The point I'm making here is we're at, 5 years later or longer since I worked there. My birthday's coming up. There's increased attacks from my father's office. My father knows exactly what's going on, but he'll never admit it. Just like the rest of my family. So that trust can never be repaired because he doesn't want to talk about the truth. And that applies to anyone, right? But what does that have to do with me and my personality and all these people involved and them willing to be honest? Okay? Because you can't build any type of relationship off lies. Correct? Okay? You can't build a business with liars. You can't date liars. You can't have friends that are liars. Okay? If there's no trust, then nothing can happen. And you can't tell someone that because they're in isolation from a planet of people trying to take turns in anger and rage on them, and they're imagining it, that it's their fault. Or, what are you trying to do? You're trying to make them look crazy, correct? So we're back to the original motive. There's a planet of people trying to make Kevin look crazy since 5 years old, under stupid pretenses that don't make sense. Well, Jason says that you're crazy. Okay, so, are you friends with Jason? Okay, that guy over there, are you friends with, hey, you over there, are you friends with Jason? Oh, but you said, hey, you committed a crime, right? That's the shit I'm talking about. Hey, person over here. You think I'm crazy. Has Jason told you that I'm crazy? How do you know me? Why would Jason be approaching random people in each and every state or with worldwide government kill tools? Kevin's crazy. Hey, Pep Boys over here is out of business and becoming Advanced Auto. Has Jason told you I'm crazy? Yeah, of course you're crazy. Okay, but why is Jason approaching you over here in Pasadena, telling you, while Jason's in Florida, telling you that I'm crazy, unless Jason's a stalker. Okay, you understand? And when I say stalker, I'm not talking about a drama. You know how like those girls get on, oh my god, he like Lily Escobar was the biggest fucking drama queen stalker. Okay, oh my god, like he called me like twice in like one day, he's a stalker. Except she has the resources to fucking kill, that's the problem. So it's like, he's a stalker! Oh, here's the nuclear missile button, right? Like dangerous stupidity almost. Like, I have the nuclear missile button here. Oh my god, like that guy came over, like you didn't call me, and he came over, he stopped me, nuclear missile! Okay, right? That's what's going on here, okay? They have these government kill tools that everyone can access. It's outside. And they're just dramatizing everything. Oh my god, like he didn't call me. Like, I went out on a date with him, and then he didn't call me again, so I think he has childhood problem. So, nuclear missile. And they're almost like great comedy pieces, right? They're like great comedy. So you want to talk about like evil, like Joker clowns, right? They're like evil little comedy pieces, right? Like things that would never fucking happen. They're so absurd. Right? Is this thing still recording? Yeah, surprisingly. Something was going on. Oh. Something weirdo's going on here, though. What are these people doing? Is there an accident? Oh, shit.